In the heart of Brazil, where the sun's warmth kisses the earth and the rainforests whisper ancient secrets, there lies a treasure trove of stories that have been passed down through generations. These stories are not just tales, they are the soul of Brazil, woven into the very fabric of its culture. Brazilian mythology is a living, breathing entity that pulses with the rhythm of the land, the people, and the spirits that inhabit this vast and diverse country. Imagine standing at the edge of a dense forest, the air thick with the scent of damp earth and the sound of rustling leaves. The stories begin to swirl around you like the mist that clings to the trees at dawn. These are stories born from the land itself, stories that speak of gods and goddesses, of spirits that protect the forests and rivers, and of creatures that defy the boundaries of imagination. Each tale is a thread in a rich tapestry, vibrant and full of life, reflecting the hopes, fears, and dreams of the people who have lived on this land for centuries. Brazilian mythology is as vast and varied as the country itself. From the indigenous tribes that first called this land home to the African slaves who were brought here against their will, and the European colonizers who sought to impose their own beliefs, each group has left its mark on the mythology of Brazil. It is a blend of cultures, a fusion of beliefs, creating something uniquely Brazilian. In the heart of these myths are the deities, the gods and goddesses who hold the power of life and death in their hands. Take Tupa, for example. He is the god of thunder, the supreme deity of the Guarani people. When the sky darkens, and the first rumble of thunder echoes through the air, it is Tupa's voice that you hear. He is a powerful, awe-inspiring figure, yet he is also a protector, watching over the people and the land with a fierce, unyielding gaze. Then there is Aera, the water nymph, whose beauty is said to be so captivating that it can drive men mad. Her long, flowing hair and enchanting voice are the stuff of legends, but beneath her ethereal beauty lies danger. She lures men to their doom, pulling them into the depths of the river where they are never seen again. Aera embodies the duality of nature itself, beautiful yet deadly, gentle yet fierce. But Brazilian mythology is not just about gods and goddesses. It is also about the spirits and creatures that inhabit the forests, rivers, and mountains. These beings are as much a part of the land as the trees and the rivers. Curupira, the protector of the forests, is one such spirit. With his backward feet, he confuses those who would harm the forest, leading them astray until they are lost forever. He is a guardian, a fierce protector of the natural world, a reminder that the land must be respected and cared for. The Saci-Pererê, a one-legged trickster with a mischievous grin, is another iconic figure in Brazilian mythology. He is a spirit of chaos, playing pranks on those who cross his path. Yet, beneath his playful exterior, there is wisdom. Saci teaches that life should not be taken too seriously, that laughter and joy are as important as hard work and duty. He reminds us that there is magic in the everyday, that even in the midst of hardship, there is room for laughter. These myths are not just stories, they are reflections of the people who tell them. They speak of a deep connection to the land, a respect for nature, and a belief in the unseen forces that shape our world. In Brazil, mythology is not confined to the past, it is a living tradition, a part of everyday life. It is told in the lullabies sung to children, in the festivals that fill the streets with color and music, and in the quiet moments of reflection under the vast Brazilian sky. The significance of Brazilian mythology in the culture of Brazil cannot be overstated. It is a source of identity, a link to the past, and a guide for the future. It teaches lessons of courage, respect, and humility. It reminds the people of Brazil of their roots, of the struggles and triumphs of those who came before them, and of the beauty and danger of the world around them. In every corner of Brazil, from the bustling cities to the remote villages, these stories are told and retold, passed down from generation to generation. They are a way of keeping the past alive, of honoring the ancestors who first told these tales. But they are also a way of understanding the present, of making sense of the world in which we live. Through these myths, the people of Brazil find meaning in the chaos of life, a sense of connection to something greater than themselves. As the stories unfold, they take on a life of their own. They are shaped by the teller, molded by the time and place in which they are told. No two versions are exactly alike, yet each one carries the essence of the myth, the heart of the story. This fluidity is what makes Brazilian mythology so powerful, so enduring. It is not static, it evolves and adapts, just as the people of Brazil have done over the centuries. In a country as diverse as Brazil, with its mix of cultures, languages, and traditions, mythology is a unifying force. It is something that everyone can share, regardless of their background. Whether it is the story of the Bodo, the enchanted dolphin who transforms into a handsome man, or the tale of the headless mule, a cursed creature that roams the countryside, these myths are a common thread that binds the people of Brazil together. There is something deeply human about these stories. They speak to the fears, hopes, and dreams that are universal. They remind us that, despite our differences, we are all connected by the same fundamental experiences: the wonder of nature, the mysteries of life and death, the search for meaning. Brazilian mythology, in all its richness and diversity, is a testament to the resilience and creativity of the human spirit. As you stand there, at the edge of the forest, with the stories swirling around you, it is impossible not to feel a sense of awe, of connection to something ancient and powerful. These are not just stories, they are a part of you, a part of all of us. They are a reminder that we are not alone, that we are part of a larger, more mysterious world. And in that realization, there is both comfort and wonder, a sense of belonging to something timeless and eternal. In the beginning, before the cities rose and the land was divided by borders, there was a time when the spirits of nature and the souls of the people danced together under the open sky. The rivers, the mountains, and the forests whispered ancient stories, and the indigenous peoples of Brazil listened with their hearts. These were the first stories, the ones that spoke of creation, of the birth of the world, and the origins of all things. They carried the wisdom of the earth, passed down through generations, woven into the very soul of the land. The indigenous peoples of Brazil lived in harmony with nature, seeing themselves as a part of the natural world rather than separate from it. Every tree, every animal, every river was alive with spirit, and the myths they told reflected this deep connection. The stories were not just entertainment, they were a way of understanding the world, a way of explaining the mysteries of life and death, of the sun and the moon, of the seasons and the stars. In the stillness of the night, when the world was quiet, the elders would gather the young around the fire and tell the stories that had been told to them when they were children. The flickering flames cast shadows on their faces, but the light in their eyes was steady, full of the knowledge that had been passed down through the ages. The children listened with rapt attention, their hearts pounding with the thrill of hearing about the gods and spirits that roamed the earth long before humans came to be. One such story is that of the great anaconda, the mighty serpent who created the rivers. It is said that in the time of the first people, the world was dry and barren, with no rivers or lakes. The great anaconda, with its enormous body, carved out the riverbeds as it slithered across the land, bringing life to the earth. The rivers that flowed from the serpent's path became the lifeblood of the land, nourishing the forests and giving rise to all forms of life. The people honored the great anaconda as a god, understanding that without it, they could not survive. The Guarani people, who lived in the dense forests of what is now Brazil, believed in a supreme god named Tupa. Tupa was the creator of all things, the one who brought light to the world and filled it with life. He was both feared and revered, for his power was beyond comprehension. It was said that when Tupa spoke, his voice was the thunder that rolled across the sky, and his breath was the wind that bent the trees. The Guarani people offered prayers and sacrifices to Tupa, knowing that their lives were in his hands. But Tupa was not alone in the heavens. There was Jackie, the moon goddess, who brought light to the night and watched over lovers. Her gentle glow was a comfort to those who feared the darkness, and her stories were filled with love and longing. Jackie was the protector of women and children, and her influence was felt in every aspect of daily life. When the moon was full, the people would sing songs in her honor, asking for her blessings and guidance. The myths of the indigenous peoples were not just about the gods and spirits that lived in the sky or in the earth, they were also about the creatures that shared the land with them. The jaguar, known as the Anka, was a symbol of strength and power, a guardian of the forest. The people believed that the jaguar was a messenger of the gods, and its presence was a sign that the spirits were near. To kill a jaguar was a grave sin, one that could bring down the wrath of the gods. Then there were the stories of the spirits who lived in the trees, the rivers, and the mountains. The Kurupura, with his bright red hair and backward feet, was the protector of the forest. He was a mischievous spirit, one who delighted in leading hunters astray and confusing those who would harm the animals and plants. But he was also a fierce guardian, and those who respected the forest were under his protection. The indigenous myths also told of the Boyuna, the black snake, who ruled the waters. She was a powerful and fearsome being, capable of causing storms and floods. The people believed that the Boyuna was the mother of all aquatic creatures, and her anger could bring disaster. Yet, she was also a giver of life, and the fish and other creatures of the water were seen as her children. These stories were more than just tales, they were a way of life. The myths guided the people in how they lived, how they treated each other, and how they interacted with the natural world. They taught respect for the earth and its creatures, instilling a deep sense of responsibility in the people to care for the world around them. As time passed and the world changed, the indigenous myths of Brazil did not fade away. They became a part of the broader tapestry of Brazilian mythology, blending with the stories of the African slaves and European colonizers who came later. But the heart of these myths, the deep connection to the land and the respect for the spirits of nature, remained strong. Even today, in the bustling cities and remote villages of Brazil, these stories are told, a reminder of the ancient wisdom that still lives on in the land and in the hearts of the people. There is a sense of reverence in these stories, a recognition of the sacredness of the world. The indigenous peoples of Brazil understood that they were not the masters of the earth, but its caretakers. They knew that the land, the water, and the sky were alive with spirit, and that to live in harmony with the world, one must honor those spirits. The myths they told were a reflection of this belief, a testament to their deep respect for the world around them. In the quiet moments, when the sun sets and the world is bathed in the soft light of dusk, it is easy to feel the presence of these ancient stories. They are in the rustling of the leaves, in the call of the birds, and in the gentle flow of the river. The spirits of the land are still here, watching over the people, just as they have always done. And the stories, passed down through generations, continue to live on, a bridge between the past and the present, a reminder of the deep roots that connect us all to the earth. When the shores of Brazil were first touched by the feet of African slaves, they brought with them more than just the weight of their chains. Hidden in their hearts, carried across the vast ocean, were the stories, the gods, and the spirits that had guided their ancestors for centuries. These were stories of power, of survival, of the indomitable human spirit that refused to be broken even in the face of unimaginable hardship. And as these stories took root in the fertile soil of Brazil, they became an inseparable part of the nation's mythology, a testament to the strength and resilience of the African soul. The heartbeat of Africa pulsed through the veins of these enslaved men and women, and with every step they took on this foreign land, they sowed the seeds of their rich cultural heritage. In the quiet of the night, when the overseers had gone, the stories would be whispered around the fire, the flickering flames casting shadows of the gods on the walls. These were not just any gods, they were the Orishas, the powerful deities who ruled over the forces of nature, guiding and protecting those who called upon them. There was Ogun, the god of iron and war, whose strength was unmatched. His power was in the tools of the blacksmith, in the weapons of the warrior, and in the heart of every man who fought for his freedom. Ogun was a force of creation and destruction, embodying the duality of life and death, love and war. In Brazil, Ogun became Ogum, and his influence spread far and wide, becoming a symbol of resilience and courage in the face of oppression. Yemanja, the mother of the sea, was another powerful presence. Her waters were the source of life, the womb from which all things were born. She was the protector of women and children, the one who soothed the souls of those who had lost everything. In the slave ships, as the waves crashed against the hull, the captives would call out to Yemanja, asking for her mercy, for her protection. And when they reached the shores of Brazil, Yemanja followed, her presence felt in the crashing waves of the Atlantic and the rivers and streams that wound their way through the land. The stories of these gods, these Orishas, were woven into the fabric of Brazilian life, blending with the indigenous myths and the beliefs of the colonizers to create something new, something uniquely Brazilian. The Orishas were not just gods to be worshipped, they were family, ancestors who had walked the earth before and who continued to watch over their descendants. In the rituals and ceremonies that were held in secret, away from the eyes of the oppressors, the African slaves honored their gods, keeping their traditions alive even as their world was torn apart. Candomblé, a religion that emerged from this blending of African traditions, became a lifeline for the African slaves. It was a way to hold on to their identity, to remember who they were and where they came from. In the terreiro, the sacred space where the rituals were performed, the air would be thick with the smell of incense and the sound of drums. The rhythmic beat of the drums would call the Orishas, inviting them to possess the bodies of the believers, to dance, to sing, to speak through them. It was in these moments, when the divine and the human became one, that the African slaves found their strength, their hope, their connection to something greater than themselves. Aksum, the goddess of love and fertility, was another beloved Orisha. Her beauty was unparalleled, her kindness unmatched. She was the one who brought joy, who healed the brokenhearted, who blessed the land with abundance. In Brazil, Aksum became a symbol of femininity, of the power of love to overcome even the greatest of obstacles. Her followers would offer her honey, fresh water, and flowers, asking for her blessings in matters of the heart, and childbirth, and all things that required her gentle touch. But the African influence on Brazilian mythology was not just about the gods, it was also about the spirits, the ancestors who continued to live on in the world of the living. The Agungun, the spirits of the ancestors, were honored in elaborate ceremonies, where the living and the dead would come together to celebrate, to remember, to honor the past. These ceremonies were a way of keeping the connection between the generations alive, of ensuring that the wisdom of the ancestors was not lost. In the stories that were told, in the songs that were sung, the African slaves found a way to resist, to survive, to thrive. They may have been taken from their homeland, but their culture, their beliefs, their stories could not be taken from them. And as these stories were passed down through the generations, they became a part of the Brazilian identity, a reminder of the strength and resilience of the African people. The African influence on Brazilian mythology is a testament to the power of the human spirit, to the ability to hold on to one's identity in the face of unimaginable hardship. It is a story of survival, of resistance, of the enduring connection between the living and the divine. It is a story that continues to be told, in the rituals, in the ceremonies, in the everyday lives of the people of Brazil. And as long as these stories are told, the spirits of the African ancestors will continue to live on, guiding, protecting, and inspiring the people of Brazil. When the first ships sailed across the Atlantic and the Portuguese explorers set foot on the shores of Brazil, they brought with them more than just weapons, goods, and new ways of life. They carried stories, beliefs, and traditions rooted in the ancient lands of Europe, stories that would forever change the spiritual landscape of Brazil. These stories, full of saints, demons, and miracles, would intertwine with the native and African beliefs, creating a rich and complex tapestry of myth and religion that still pulses through the heart of Brazil today. The land was vast, and the people they encountered were unlike any they had known before. The indigenous people had their own gods, spirits, and rituals, and the Africans who were brought as slaves carried their own powerful deities and ancestors. But the Europeans, driven by a fervent belief in the righteousness of their own faith, sought to introduce their own beliefs, believing that their God would bring salvation to these new souls. The stories they brought with them were woven into the very fabric of their daily lives. Stories of saints who performed miracles, of angels who guided the faithful, of devils who tempted the weak. These tales were not just myths, but were seen as truths, guiding principles that shaped how they saw the world and their place in it. And as these stories crossed the ocean, they took root in the fertile soil of Brazil, blending with the existing myths to create something entirely new. The Catholic saints, revered in European villages and cities, began to be seen as protectors and guides in this strange new world. They became a bridge between the old world and the new, their images carried in the hearts of the colonizers and soon in the hearts of the indigenous and African people as well. Saint Anthony, the beloved patron of lost things, became the saint of marriage and love in Brazil, his image invoked by women seeking a husband or by those hoping to reunite with lost loved ones. But it wasn't just the saints who made their way into Brazilian mythology. The tales of demons and devils, of creatures that lurked in the shadows, also found a place in the new land. The Portuguese believed in the existence of the devil, a being who was always waiting to tempt and lead the faithful astray. This belief in the devil, the embodiment of evil, began to merge with the indigenous and African beliefs in malevolent spirits, creating a rich and terrifying mythology of creatures that roamed the forests and haunted the night. One such creature is the Saci Pererê, a mischievous one-legged boy with a red cap who plays tricks on travelers and steals their belongings. Though his origins are partly rooted in African and indigenous folklore, the European influence is clear in the devilish nature of his tricks and his connection to the darker side of the spirit world. The Saci, with his playful yet sinister demeanor, embodies the blending of cultures, a being that is both feared and respected, a reminder of the unpredictable nature of life. The European influence also brought with it a new understanding of the natural world, one that sought to explain and categorize the mysteries of the earth in ways that were very different from the indigenous or African beliefs. The Europeans saw the world as something to be tamed and understood, and this view began to shape the myths and stories of Brazil. The forests, once seen as the domain of powerful spirits and gods, became places to be explored, mapped, and exploited. But even as the European beliefs sought to dominate, they could not erase the power of the land, the deep connection that the people had to the earth and its spirits. Instead, the myths began to change, to adapt, to blend the old with the new. The Virgin Mary, revered as the Mother of Christ, began to be seen as a protector of the earth, her image often appearing in places where indigenous goddesses once ruled. She became a symbol of purity and goodness, but also of the nurturing power of the earth, a connection that resonated deeply with the people of Brazil. And so, the European influence on Brazilian mythology became a story of blending, of merging the old with the new, of creating something that was at once familiar and entirely unique. The myths that emerged were not just tales of the past, but living, breathing stories that continued to shape the lives of the people. There were stories of survival, of adaptation, of the enduring power of belief in a world that was constantly changing. As the years passed, these myths grew and evolved, taking on new forms and meanings. The saints became part of the daily lives of the people, their images found in homes, churches, and roadside shrines. The demons and devils became part of the folklore, their stories told to warn children of the dangers that lurked in the night. And the natural world, once seen as something to be tamed, became a place of wonder and mystery, its secrets guarded by spirits both old and new. The European influence on Brazilian mythology is a testament to the power of stories, to the way they can cross oceans and continents, changing and adapting as they go. It is a reminder that no culture exists in isolation, that the stories we tell are shaped by the world around us, by the people we meet, by the places we go. And in Brazil, these stories have created a rich and complex mythology, one that is a blend of many cultures, many beliefs, many hearts. It is a mythology that is alive, that continues to grow and change, just as the land and its people do. And in that, there is a beauty that is both timeless and ever-changing, a beauty that is as vast and as deep as the land itself. In the heart of Brazil, where the rivers sing and the forests whisper, there exists a world unseen, a world where gods and goddesses walk among mortals, guiding, protecting, and sometimes testing those who dare to seek their favor. These deities, born from the blend of indigenous, African, and European influences, are more than just distant figures in ancient tales. They are the very breath of the land, the pulse of its people, living and breathing through every leaf that trembles, every drop of rain that falls, and every beat of the drum that echoes in the night. These gods and goddesses are not abstract concepts, but powerful beings, each with their own personality, their own desires, their own ways of interacting with the world. They are as diverse as the land itself, reflecting the vastness of Brazil's culture, its history, its struggles, and its triumphs. And in the stories that are told, in the rituals that are performed, they come alive, reminding us of the deep connections that bind the people to the land, the earth to the sky, the past to the present. One such deity is Tupa, the god of thunder, the one whose voice is heard in the rolling of the storm clouds, whose presence is felt in the flash of lightning that splits the sky. Tupa is a god of power, a god who commands respect and awe. He is the bringer of rain, the one who nourishes the earth, allowing it to burst forth in life. But he is also a god of destruction, capable of unleashing his fury upon those who disrespect the land, who forget the sacredness of the world they live in. When the storm comes, when the thunder roars and the lightning strikes, it is Tupa reminding the people of his presence, of the delicate balance that must be maintained between man and nature. Then there is Aera, the Lady of the Waters, whose beauty is said to be so great that it can drive men mad. She is a creature of the rivers, a goddess who can be both kind and cruel, who can bless those who honor her with abundance, but who can also drag the unwary to a watery grave. Her long black hair floats like a veil on the surface of the water, her eyes as deep and dark as the river itself. She is the protector of the aquatic world, the one who ensures that the rivers flow clean and pure. But woe to those who dare to pollute her waters, for Aera is also a goddess of vengeance, and her wrath is as endless as the rivers she guards. Oxum, another goddess of the waters, is known for her kindness, her love, her nurturing spirit. She is the goddess of fresh water, of streams and waterfalls, the one who blesses the land with fertility and life. Oxum is a mother, a protector of women and children, a goddess whose heart is full of compassion. Her touch is gentle, her voice soft, but her power is immense. She is the one who can turn barren land into a garden, who can bring new life into the world with a single drop of her sacred water. In the rituals that honor her, offerings of honey, flowers, and mirrors are made, for Oxum loves beauty, and she blesses those who appreciate the beauty of the world. Ogum, the god of war and iron, is a stark contrast to the gentle Oxum. He is the god of the forge, the one who shapes metal into weapons, who gives strength to those who fight for justice. Ogum is a warrior, a protector, a god who values courage and honor above all else. His followers are often those who work with their hands, blacksmiths, soldiers, anyone who seeks the strength to face the challenges of life head-on. Ogum is not a god to be trifled with, he demands respect, and in return, he offers his protection, his guidance, his unyielding strength. And then there is Exu, the trickster, the messenger between the gods and humans, the one who moves between worlds with ease. Exu is a god of contradictions, of chaos and order, of laughter and tears. He is the one who opens the way, who clears the path, but he is also the one who can create obstacles, who can bring confusion and mischief. Exu is a god who teaches through challenges, who forces people to think, to adapt, to overcome. He is the one who reminds us that life is not always straightforward, that sometimes we must embrace the chaos to find the true path. These gods and goddesses, and many more like them, make up the pantheon of Brazilian mythology, a pantheon as vibrant and diverse as the land itself. They are not distant, unapproachable beings, but are instead intimately connected to the world of humans. They live in the rivers, the mountains, the forests, they are in the air we breathe, the earth we walk on, the fire that warms us. They are both protectors and challengers, offering blessings to those who honor them, but also testing those who forget the sacredness of the world. In the stories told by the fireside, and the songs sung in the night, these gods and goddesses come alive, their presence felt in the very air around us. They are the heartbeat of Brazil, the soul of its people, the connection between the seen and the unseen. To honor them is to honor the land, the ancestors, the life that flows through all things. They are not just figures of the past, but are alive in the present, guiding, protecting, and reminding us of the power and beauty of the world we live in. The gods and goddesses of Brazilian mythology are more than just stories, they are the essence of life itself, a reminder of the deep connections that bind us all together. They are the guardians of the land, the protectors of the people, the ones who ensure that the balance between the worlds is maintained. And as long as their names are spoken, as long as their stories are told, they will continue to live, to guide, to inspire, to remind us of the beauty and power of the world that surrounds us. In the deep silence of the night, when the stars glitter like a million tiny fires in the sky, the Guarani people look up with a reverence that speaks of ancient mysteries. They know that beyond those stars, there is a presence, a force so powerful that it shaped the very world they live in. That force is Tupa, the supreme god of the Guarani, the one who brought light into the darkness, who gave life to the earth, and who continues to watch over it with eyes that see all. Tupa is not just a god, he is the breath of the wind, the warmth of the sun, the thunder that rolls across the sky. He is in every heartbeat, every rustle of the leaves, every drop of rain that falls from the heavens. To the Guarani, Tupa is the beginning and the end, the creator who shaped the world with his voice, who spoke the land, the rivers, the mountains into existence. It is said that when he speaks, his voice echoes through the earth, shaking the trees, stirring the waters, reminding all who hear it of his power. In the stories passed down through generations, Tupa is a god of light, the one who brought the sun to chase away the darkness. Before there was light, the world was a place of shadows, a land where nothing could grow, where no life could thrive. But Tupa, in his wisdom and kindness, saw the potential in this world, saw the beauty that lay hidden beneath the darkness. And so, he spoke, and with his words, the sun was born, a blazing fire in the sky that brought warmth and light to the earth. With the sun came life, and the world blossomed into a place of beauty, a place where the Guarani could live, hunt, and build their homes. But Tupa's role did not end with creation. He is a god who continues to care for the world he created, a god who watches over the land and its people with a protective eye. He is the one who sends the rain to nourish the crops, who commands the rivers to flow, ensuring that life continues to thrive. Yet, Tupa is also a god of justice, one who does not hesitate to show his anger when the balance of the world is threatened. The thunder that cracks across the sky is a warning, a reminder that Tupa is always watching, that he will not allow the sacredness of the earth to be desecrated. In Guarani mythology, Tupa is not a distant god, sitting in some far-off heaven, untouched by the world. He is present in every aspect of life, a constant companion to those who honor him. His influence extends beyond the Guarani, touching other myths, other stories, as his power is recognized by those who know the land and the sky. In every flash of lightning, in every roll of thunder, Tupa's presence is felt, a reminder that he is there, that he is always there, guiding, protecting, and sometimes warning those who have strayed from the path. The Guarani people tell of the times when Tupa walked the earth, when he shaped the mountains with his hands, when he carved the rivers with his breath. They speak of how he taught the first people the ways of the world, how he showed them how to live in harmony with the land, how to respect the earth and all its creatures. Tupa is not just a god of creation, he is a teacher, a guide, one who leads his people with wisdom and love. In the sacred ceremonies that the Guarani still perform, Tupa is invoked, his name spoken with reverence, with a respect that comes from knowing that he is always near. The fires are lit, the drums begin to beat, and as the smoke rises to the sky, the people know that Tupa is with them, that he is watching, that he is listening. It is in these moments, when the boundary between the world of the living and the world of the gods is at its thinnest, that Tupa's presence is most strongly felt. He is the warmth of the fire, the rhythm of the drums, the spirit that moves through the people, binding them together, connecting them to the land, to the sky, to the very essence of life itself. Tupa's influence is not confined to the myths of the Guarani. His power has touched other cultures, other stories, as the echoes of his creation spread across the land. His name is spoken in whispers, in songs, in prayers, as other peoples recognize the force that he represents, the power of creation, of life, of the earth itself. In the thunder that rolls across the sky, in the lightning that splits the heavens, Tupa's power is felt, a power that transcends boundaries, that touches all who live in this land, who walk beneath these skies. Tupa, the supreme god of the Guarani, is more than just a figure in a story. He is the living spirit of the earth, the force that drives the world forward, that keeps the balance between light and dark, between life and death. He is a god who cares for his people, who watches over them, who guides them with a hand that is both gentle and firm. In the stories told by the fireside, and the songs sung beneath the stars, Tupa's name is honored, his presence felt, a presence that is as eternal as the earth itself. Under the shimmering moonlight, where the Amazon River glides silently through the heart of the jungle, there is a presence felt by those who dare to listen to the whispers of the night. The water seems to carry a melody, soft and alluring, a song that speaks to the deepest parts of the soul. It's a call so sweet, so captivating, that it's almost impossible to resist. But within that beauty lies a deadly secret. This is the domain of Iera, the water nymph, a creature as mesmerizing as she is dangerous. Iera's story is one of beauty and betrayal, of love and vengeance. She is said to be breathtakingly beautiful, with long, dark hair that cascades down her back like a waterfall of midnight. Her eyes, deep and mysterious, hold the secrets of the river, and her voice, oh, her voice, carries the power to enchant anyone who hears it. But beneath this enchanting exterior lies a heart that has known pain, a heart that has turned cold with the weight of betrayal. Legend has it that Iera was once a woman of the earth, a skilled and respected warrior. She was brave and strong, but her beauty caught the eye of many, stirring both admiration and jealousy. It was this jealousy that led to her downfall. Falsely accused by her brothers of a crime she did not commit, Iera was sentenced to death. They bound her hands and threw her into the river, expecting the waters to claim her life. But the river had other plans. As she sank beneath the surface, something within Iera changed. The river embraced her, transformed her, turning her pain into power, her sorrow into a song. When she emerged, she was no longer the woman she once was. She had become Iera, the water nymph, a creature of the river, a guardian of its secrets, and a force to be reckoned with. The betrayal she had suffered had not destroyed her, it had remade her into something far more powerful. Now, Iera lives in the depths of the Amazon, her song echoing through the trees, calling out to those who wander too close to her domain. The men who hear her voice are said to be unable to resist it. They follow the sound, drawn to her by a force they cannot explain, a need that overwhelms all reason. And when they find her, standing on the edge of the water, her beauty takes their breath away. But this beauty is a trap, and the love she offers is a deadly one. For once a man is within her grasp, Iera shows her true nature. The warmth in her eyes turns cold, the sweetness in her voice becomes a venomous whisper, and she pulls her victims into the water's depths. There, beneath the surface, she drowns them, their bodies never to be seen again. The river claims them, just as it once claimed her, and their souls become part of the dark currents that flow through the jungle. But Iera is not entirely without mercy. There are tales of those who have survived her encounter, men who have managed to escape her grasp, but they are forever changed. They return to the world above with eyes that have seen too much, with hearts that carry the weight of the river's secrets. These men speak of a sadness in Iera's eyes, a glimpse of the woman she once was, a woman who was betrayed and who now takes her vengeance on those who cross her path. Iera's story has woven itself into the fabric of Brazilian folklore, becoming a tale told by parents to warn their children of the dangers that lurk within the waters. She is both a symbol of beauty and a warning of the deadly allure that beauty can hold. Her song is one of sorrow, of a life stolen too soon, and of a soul that has been forever changed by the betrayal of those she loved. Yet, in the hearts of those who hear her tale, there is a strange kind of sympathy for Iera. She is not seen merely as a monster, but as a tragic figure, one who was wronged and who now lives out her days seeking a justice that can never truly satisfy the pain she carries. Her beauty, her song, her very existence is a testament to the power of the human spirit to survive, to endure, even when all hope seems lost. In the stillness of the night, when the river is quiet and the world is asleep, those who listen closely can still hear her song. It is a haunting melody, one that speaks of loss and longing, of a love that was turned to hate, of a life that was forever changed by the waters of the Amazon. And as the river flows on, so too does the legend of Iera, the water nymph, a tale of beauty, betrayal, and the deadly power of the human heart. In the heart of the dense Brazilian jungle, where the trees seem to whisper secrets and the air is thick with mystery, there lives a spirit who is both feared and loved, a figure as mischievous as he is iconic. His name is Saci Pererê, and he is unlike any other. With his single leg, a bright red cap perched atop his head, and a grin that hints at the mischief brewing within, Saci Pererê is a presence that can be felt even before he is seen. His laughter, high-pitched and playful, echoes through the trees, a sound that sends shivers down the spine of anyone who hears it. Saci Pererê is known to be a trickster, a spirit who delights in causing trouble, but his tricks are never truly mean-spirited. They are more like the pranks of a child, full of energy and mischief, but with an underlying innocence that makes it hard to stay angry at him for long. Say is a master of chaos. He moves through the jungle with the speed and agility that only a spirit could possess, leaving a trail of confusion and laughter in his wake. He loves to play tricks on those who venture too far into his domain. He might tie knots in the manes of horses, hide important tools, or blow out candles just as someone is about to light them. But these tricks, as frustrating as they might be, are not meant to harm. They are Say's way of interacting with the world, of reminding humans that there is more to life than the mundane, that the world is full of magic and wonder if only we are open to it. There is a certain charm to Say, a mischievous joy that is infectious. His tricks might cause inconvenience, but they also bring laughter, a reminder not to take life too seriously. In many ways, Say is a symbol of resilience, of the ability to find joy and playfulness even in the midst of hardship. His one-legged form, far from being a weakness, is a testament to his strength and adaptability. He is a spirit who thrives despite the odds, who dances and laughs in the face of adversity. In Brazilian culture, Say is more than just a trickster. He is a cultural icon, a figure who represents the blending of different traditions and histories. His origins are rooted in the rich tapestry of African, indigenous, and European influences that make up Brazil's cultural heritage. Say embodies the resilience of these cultures, their ability to adapt, survive, and thrive despite centuries of oppression and struggle. But Say is also a reminder of the power of stories. He lives on in the tales told by grandparents to their grandchildren, in the whispers of the jungle at night, and the laughter that follows one of his tricks. Say is not just a character in a story, he is a living, breathing part of Brazilian culture, a symbol of the magic and mystery that still exist in the world. There is a certain magic to Say tricks, a reminder that life is full of surprises, that even in the midst of the everyday, there is room for wonder and play. He teaches us to laugh at ourselves, to find joy in the unexpected, to embrace the chaos that is a part of life. And in doing so, he helps us see the world through the eyes of a child, full of possibility and wonder. Say spirit lives on in the hearts of those who hear his story, a reminder that life is meant to be lived with joy, with laughter, with a sense of playfulness. He is a trickster, yes, but he is also a guide, leading us through the jungle of life with a mischievous grin and a heart full of laughter. And as long as there are those who are willing to listen, who are open to the magic of the world around them, Say will continue to dance through the trees, his laughter echoing through the night, a reminder of the beauty and wonder that exist in every corner of the world. In the heart of the vast, unending Amazon, where the trees stretch up to kiss the sky and the air is thick with life, there dwells a being like no other. His name is Curupira, and he is the fierce protector of the forest, a guardian whose very presence commands both fear and respect. But what sets Curupira apart is not just his fiery red hair or the wild gleam in his eyes, it is his feet, which are turned backward, leaving tracks that confuse and disorient those who would dare harm his beloved woods. Curupira is not just a figure of myth, he is the heartbeat of the forest, the force that keeps the balance between man and nature. His backward feet are a symbol of his cunning, a reminder that the forest is not to be trifled with. Those who seek to exploit its riches, who enter with greed in their hearts and axes in their hands, find themselves lost, wandering in circles as the forest itself seems to close in around them. It is as if Curupira is playing with them, a cat toying with a mouse, leading them deeper into the green labyrinth until they are swallowed by the very thing they sought to conquer. Yet, Curupira is not merely a trickster, he is a protector, a guardian who takes his role seriously. He does not act out of malice but out of love, love for the trees that tower above him, for the creatures that scurry through the underbrush, for the rivers that snake through the land like veins. The forest is his home, and he defends it with a ferocity that is both awe-inspiring and terrifying. The stories of Curupira are whispered among those who live close to the forest, tales of his relentless pursuit of those who disrespect the land. Hunters and loggers, those who ignore the warnings and venture too far, speak of hearing strange sounds, of feeling eyes on them even when they are alone. They say that Curupira can mimic the cries of animals, luring men into traps from which there is no escape. The forest is his domain, and within it, he is all-powerful. But there is another side to Kurupara, a side that is tender and nurturing. He is not just a force of vengeance, but a caretaker, a being who understands the delicate balance of life within the forest. He is said to care for the young animals, to guide lost children back to safety, to watch over the plants and trees as they grow. His backward feet may confuse and terrify, but they are also a reminder that things are not always as they seem, that there is a deeper wisdom in the world if only we take the time to see it. Kurupara's presence is felt in the rustle of the leaves, and the calls of the birds, and the very air that fills the lungs of those who enter the forest. He is a part of the land, as ancient as the trees themselves, a spirit that embodies the untamed, raw power of nature. To encounter Kurupara is to come face to face with the wildness of the world, with a force that cannot be tamed or controlled. It is to understand that the forest is alive, that it has a will and a spirit of its own, and that Kurupara is the embodiment of that spirit. Those who respect the forest, who enter it with reverence and care, have nothing to fear from Kurupara. They may even catch a glimpse of him, a flash of red hair among the trees, a figure darting between the shadows. For them, Kurupara is a guide, a protector who ensures that the forest remains a sanctuary, a place where life can flourish in all its forms. But for those who seek to harm, to take without giving, Kurupara is a relentless foe. His backward feet lead them deeper into the wild, where the trees grow so thick that the sun itself struggles to break through, where the sounds of civilization fade away until there is nothing but the beating of the heart and the rustle of the leaves. In the end, they realize too late that they have been led into a trap, that the forest is not theirs to conquer, but a living, breathing entity that will defend itself with all the power it can muster. Kurupara is more than just a myth. He is a symbol of the forest's resilience, of the power that lies in the natural world. He reminds us that the earth is not a resource to be exploited, but a home to be cherished and protected. His backward feet, so strange and unsettling, are a message to all who see them. The forest is not a place of conquest, but of respect. A place where the old ways still hold power and where the spirit of the land is alive and watching. To speak of Kurupara is to speak of the forest itself, of a world that is both beautiful and terrifying, a world that is alive with mystery and magic. He is the guardian, the protector, the spirit that ensures the forest remains wild and free. And as long as there are those who remember him, who tell his story and respect the land, Kurupara will continue to walk the forest, his backward feet leaving tracks that lead not to destruction, but to a deeper understanding of the world around us. In the heart of Brazil's ancient forests, where the dense trees seem to whisper secrets to the wind and the night carries the weight of countless untold stories, there lives a serpent unlike any other. Boitada, they call it, a creature born of fire, its eyes glowing with a fierce, unearthly light that cuts through the darkness like a beacon. But this is no ordinary serpent. Boitada is a guardian, a protector of the forest, driven by a burning desire to shield the land from those who would do it harm. Legend tells of a time when the earth trembled and the skies darkened, when fire swept across the land, leaving devastation in its wake. It was in this moment of chaos that Boitada was born, rising from the ashes with a body that shimmered like molten gold and eyes that blazed with the intensity of 1,000 suns. The serpent slithered through the charred remains of the forest, its very presence igniting the embers into flames, not of destruction, but of protection. For Boitada's fire was different. It was a fire of life, of renewal, burning away the darkness and leaving behind a promise of rebirth. Boitada's story is one of fierce loyalty, of an undying commitment to the land it calls home. It is said that the serpent feeds on the light of the stars, drawing strength from the heavens to fuel its eternal vigil. With each breath, Boitada inhales the essence of the forest, its body pulsing with the rhythm of the earth itself. When danger looms, when the greedy hands of men reach out to tear down the trees, to strip the land of its beauty, Boitada awakens. Its eyes glow brighter, and the air around it crackles with the energy of the storm. The serpent's body coils and uncoils with a grace that belies its size, moving like a river of fire through the underbrush. Those who encounter Boitada speak of a fear that is unlike any other, a fear that reaches into the soul and grips it with icy fingers. For the serpent is more than just a physical presence, it is the embodiment of the forest's will, a manifestation of nature's wrath. To face Boitada is to face the fury of the earth itself, to feel the heat of its gaze searing into your very being. Yet, there is also a strange beauty in Boitada, a mesmerizing allure that draws the eye even as it fills the heart with dread. The serpent's flames dance like living things, their colors shifting and changing in a hypnotic display that is as captivating as it is terrifying. But Boitada is not a creature of indiscriminate vengeance. It does not strike out in anger or seek to punish without cause. Its purpose is clear, its mission defined, to protect the forest from those who seek to destroy it. And so, when Boitada's fiery form appears, it is a warning, a sign that the balance has been tipped too far, that the greed and carelessness of humanity have provoked the ancient spirit into action. The serpent's fire is not meant to harm the innocent, but to cleanse the land of the darkness that threatens it. It is a fire that burns with the purity of intention, leaving behind not ashes, but the seeds of new life. The people who live near the forest know to respect Boitada, to honor the serpent with offerings of light and fire. They speak of it in hushed tones around the campfire, passing down the stories from generation to generation. They know that Boitada is always watching, its fiery eyes ever vigilant, ready to spring into action at the first sign of danger. They have learned to live in harmony with the forest, to take only what they need and to give back in return, knowing that the serpent's wrath is reserved for those who forget this sacred pact. Yet, despite its fearsome reputation, there is a sadness that clings to Boitada, a loneliness that comes from its eternal duty. The serpent is bound to the forest, unable to leave its side, forever tied to the land it protects. It is a creature of fire, but also of solitude, wandering the darkened woods in search of the flames that sustain it. In the quiet moments, when the world is still and the stars shine down like a million tiny candles, Boitada can be seen curled around the base of a great tree, its body glowing softly in the night. It is a reminder that even the most powerful of beings carries the weight of its responsibility, that even the fiercest protector can feel the burden of its task. Boitada's legend is one of fire and light, of protection and renewal. It is a story that speaks to the heart, a reminder of the power of nature and the importance of balance. The serpent's flames may burn bright, but they are not flames of destruction, they are flames of life, of a spirit that will not rest until the forest is safe once more. To see Boitada is to witness the very soul of the earth, to feel the heat of its passion and the strength of its resolve. It is a story that lingers in the mind, long after the flames have faded and the night has given way to dawn, a story that reminds us of the delicate dance between man and nature, and the fiery serpent that ensures the dance continues. When the moonlight bathes the Amazon River in its soft, silver glow, and the jungle falls into a hush, a mystery stirs beneath the water's surface. The locals tell of a creature so enchanting, so beguiling, that even the most cautious hearts cannot resist its charm. This is the tale of the Boto, an Amazonian river dolphin, but not just any dolphin, one with a secret, one with a curse. By day, the Boto glides through the murky waters, its pink skin a rare sight, its playful nature captivating to those lucky enough to glimpse it. But as the sun sinks and night descends, the Boto undergoes a transformation that blurs the line between myth and reality. When the river is cloaked in darkness, the Boto sheds its aquatic form, emerging from the depths as a tall, strikingly handsome man. Dressed in fine white clothes and wearing a wide-brimmed hat to conceal the blowhole that betrays his true nature, the Boto steps onto land, his intentions cloaked in mystery. In the villages along the Amazon, tales of the Boto are whispered among families, especially to young women who are warned not to wander alone at night. But warnings alone cannot always shield the heart from temptation. The Boto is known for his charm, his dance is graceful, his voice soothing, and his eyes are pools of midnight, drawing you in deeper, deeper, until you lose yourself completely. The Boto does not seek to harm, instead, he seeks companionship, love, if only for a fleeting moment. He appears at village festivals, where music fills the air and the night is alive with celebration. The women he approaches find themselves inexplicably drawn to him, their hearts fluttering in a way they have never known before. His words are sweet, his touch gentle, and in those moments, he is no longer a creature of the river but a man of dreams, embodying every desire that lies hidden in the depths of the soul. But the Boto's love is bittersweet, for it is not meant to last. As dawn approaches and the first light of day threatens to break, the Bodo must return to the river. The transformation back to his true form is inevitable, and with it comes the end of the night's enchantment. He slips away silently, leaving behind nothing but memories and a lingering sense of loss. Some say that the Bodo's visit is more than just a night of passion. It is believed that children born out of these encounters carry the Bodo's blood in their veins, marked by a certain sadness in their eyes, a longing that cannot be fulfilled. These children, it is said, inherit the Bodo's charm, but also his loneliness, a curse that binds them to the river, where they are forever drawn to the water, searching for something they can never find. The Bodo is not merely a legend, he is a symbol of the complexities of love and desire. His story reflects the duality of human nature, the desire for connection, and the inevitability of separation. In the Bodo's tale, there is no villain, no hero, only the haunting reality that some things are too beautiful to last. The Bodo's love is like the river itself, ever-changing, impossible to hold onto, yet powerful enough to shape the lives it touches. Even as time passes and the modern world encroaches on the Amazon's ancient ways, the legend of the Bodo endures. His story is woven into the fabric of the region, a reminder of the river's mysteries and the allure of the unknown. The Bodo's enchantment lies not just in his ability to transform, but in the emotions he stirs in those who encounter him, emotions that are as deep and unfathomable as the river he calls home. The Bodo teaches that love, like the river, is not something to be possessed or controlled. It flows where it wills, sometimes bringing joy, sometimes pain, but always leaving a mark on those who experience it. And perhaps that is the true essence of the Bodo's legend, an understanding that love is as fleeting as it is powerful, that it can transform us in ways we never expected, and that, in the end, it is not the length of time we spend with someone that matters, but the depth of the connection we share. As the villagers continue to tell the tale of the Bodo, they do so with a mixture of reverence and caution. They know that the Bodo is more than just a creature of myth. He is a reflection of the river itself, mysterious, alluring, and impossible to truly know. The river gives life, but it also takes, and in the Bodo, this duality is brought to life in the most captivating of ways. The story of the Bodo, the enchanted dolphin, is one that resonates with all who hear it, for it speaks to the heart in a language that is universal. It is a story of love found and lost, of the beauty and pain that come with opening oneself up to another. And as the river continues its endless journey to the sea, so too does the legend of the Bodo, carried on the currents of time, forever a part of the Amazon soul. In the heart of the Amazon, where the trees whisper secrets and the rivers carry ancient tales, lies a world where the lines between reality and the mystical blur. This vast, green labyrinth has birthed stories that pulse with life, stories passed down through generations, shaped by the rhythm of the jungle and the spirits that dwell within it. The Amazon is not just a forest, it's a living entity, a guardian of mysteries that have survived the test of time, holding within its embrace myths as old as the trees that tower above. Among these myths are the stories of powerful spirits that watch over the land. These spirits are not distant, abstract entities, but are woven into the very fabric of daily life. They are the guardians of the forest, the protectors of the rivers, and the keepers of ancient wisdom. The people who live here speak of them with reverence, for they know that to disrespect these spirits is to invite disaster. These stories, filled with awe and respect, are whispered at night around the fire, under the gaze of a starry sky that seems to stretch on forever. One of the most revered spirits in Amazonian mythology is the anaconda, or Yakamama. This colossal serpent is said to inhabit the deep, dark waters of the Amazon River, where it silently watches over the ecosystem. The river is its domain, and all who venture into its waters must do so with caution. The Yakamama is both a creator and a destroyer, capable of bringing life through the nourishing waters it commands, or death to those who dare to harm its home. The people believe that the river's pulse is the heartbeat of the Yakamama, a constant reminder of its presence and power. To see the anaconda is a rare, almost mythical occurrence, one that strikes fear and wonder into the hearts of those who witness it. But the Amazon's myths are not just about fearsome creatures. They also tell of beings that embody the delicate balance between life and death, creation and destruction. One such being is the Curupira, a wild creature with bright red hair and feet that point backward. The Curupira is the protector of the forest, a spirit that punishes those who harm the trees and animals. It is said that the Curupira can confuse hunters by leading them deep into the jungle, far from their intended path, with its backward feet leaving deceptive tracks. The people believe that the Curupira is a necessary force, one that ensures the forest remains untouched by those who would exploit it. The myths of the Amazon also speak of love, of the deep, unbreakable bond between humans and the spirits of the forest. The tale of the Boto, or the Amazonian river dolphin, is one of the most well-known. The Boto is believed to be an enchanted creature, one that can transform into a handsome young man. This mysterious figure emerges from the river during the night to seduce women, often leading them to the water where they disappear, never to be seen again. The Boto is a symbol of the river's seductive power, a reminder of the thin line between the world of the living and the spirits that reside in the water. The people of the Amazon live with the knowledge that the river, while life-giving, holds its own dangers, and the story of the Boto serves as a cautionary tale. The Amazon is also home to the legend of the Mapinguari, a terrifying creature that is said to roam the depths of the forest. The Mapinguari is often described as a giant, sloth-like beast with a single eye and a mouth that stretches across its stomach. This creature is believed to be nearly invincible, its skin impervious to bullets and arrows. The people of the Amazon fear the Mapinguari, for it is said to emit a foul odor that can paralyze anyone who comes too close. Yet, despite its fearsome reputation, the Mapinguari is also seen as a guardian of the forest, a being that punishes those who desecrate the land. Its presence is a reminder that the forest is not just a resource to be exploited, but a sacred place that demands respect. These myths are more than just stories, they are the soul of the Amazon, a living connection to the past. They reflect the deep respect that the people of the Amazon have for their environment, a respect born out of a recognition of the delicate balance that sustains life in the jungle. The myths teach lessons about harmony, about living in tune with the natural world rather than against it. They are a reminder that the forest is not just a place, but a living, breathing entity with its own will and its own way of maintaining balance. In the Amazon, every tree, every river, every creature has a story. The myths that have emerged from this place are as diverse as the ecosystem itself, filled with beings that are both wondrous and terrifying. They capture the essence of the jungle, a place where the natural and the supernatural are intertwined, where the spirits of the forest watch over the land, ensuring that the delicate balance of life is preserved. These stories, passed down through the ages, continue to inspire awe, reminding us of the power and mystery that still lies in the heart of the Amazon. In the heart of the Amazon, where the river winds like a serpent through the dense, green embrace of the jungle, there exists a legend that stirs both fear and awe. This is the tale of the Cobra Grande, a massive snake that lurks beneath the murky waters, its presence felt even when unseen. The river is its home, and every ripple on the surface, every shadow that moves just beneath the water, is a reminder that the Cobra Grande could be near, watching, waiting. The people of the Amazon speak of this serpent in hushed tones, their voices tinged with respect and a hint of dread. The Cobra Grande is not just a snake, it is the spirit of the river, the embodiment of its power and mystery. It is said to be as old as the river itself, a creature born from the depths of time, as eternal as the jungle that surrounds it. The Cobra Grande is a guardian, a protector of the river, and those who dare to harm the waters or the creatures within it do so at their own peril. There are many stories of encounters with the Cobra Grande, each one more terrifying than the last. Some say that the serpent is so large that it can encircle an entire island, its massive body creating whirlpools that can drag boats and even entire villages beneath the water. Others speak of its eyes, glowing like two embers in the darkness, piercing through the thick fog that often blankets the river at dawn and dusk. To look into those eyes is to see the ancient power of the river itself, a force that cannot be tamed or controlled. Fishermen who have spent their lives on the river tell tales of the Cobra Grande with a mix of reverence and fear. They know the signs of its presence, the sudden stillness in the air, the way the birds fall silent, the peculiar movement of the water. They speak of nights when the moonlight glints off the surface of the river, and they can see the outline of something enormous moving just below. Those who are brave or foolish enough to venture too close often disappear, their boats found days later, overturned and empty, as if the river itself had swallowed them whole. The legend of the Cobra Grande is more than just a story, it is a reflection of the deep connection the people have with the river. The Amazon is not just a body of water, it is the lifeblood of the jungle, the source of all life in this vast, untamed land. The Cobra Grande embodies the river's might, its capacity to give life and to take it away. The serpent is a reminder that the river, like the jungle, is a place of both beauty and danger, where the line between the natural and the supernatural is thin and easily crossed. In the villages along the Amazon, the Cobra Grande is often invoked in rituals and prayers, its name spoken as a plea for protection or as a warning to those who might forget the power of the river. Children grow up hearing stories of the giant serpent, learning from a young age to respect the water and the spirits that dwell within it. These stories are not just for entertainment, they are lessons in survival, passed down through generations, teaching the people how to live in harmony with their environment. Yet, despite its fearsome reputation, the Cobra Grande is also seen as a force of balance. The river, after all, is a place of life and death, creation and destruction, and the serpent reflects this duality. The Cobra Grande protects the river from those who would exploit it, punishing those who take more than they need or who show disrespect to the creatures that call the river home. In this way, the serpent is a guardian, ensuring that the delicate balance of the Amazon is maintained. But there are those who believe that the Cobra Grande is more than just a protector of the river. They speak of the serpent as a bridge between worlds, a being that connects the physical and the spiritual, the past and the present. The river, with its endless flow, is seen as a symbol of time itself, and the Cobra Grande, moving silently beneath its surface, is the keeper of its secrets. The serpent knows the stories of the river, the memories of the jungle, the ancient truths that have been lost to time. To see the Cobra Grande is to glimpse into the soul of the Amazon, to touch the very essence of the jungle. For those who live along the river, the Cobra Grande is a reminder of the power of nature, a force that is both awe-inspiring and terrifying. The serpent is a symbol of the river's might, its ability to shape the land, to create and to destroy. But it is also a symbol of the river's mystery, of the secrets that lie hidden beneath its surface, waiting to be discovered by those who are brave enough, or foolish enough, to seek them out. The Cobra Grande is the heartbeat of the Amazon, a creature as old as the river itself, a force that cannot be tamed or understood. It is a reminder that the jungle is a place of both wonder and danger, where the line between reality and myth is blurred, and where the spirits of the forest and the river still hold sway. The people of the Amazon live with this knowledge, their lives intertwined with the river and the serpent that guards it, their stories a testament to the enduring power of the Cobra Grande. In the beginning, when the world was still young and the stars had yet to find their places in the sky, the people of Brazil looked to the heavens and the earth, seeking answers to the mysteries of life and creation. From the whispering forests to the mighty rivers, the land itself seemed to pulse with the stories of how all things came to be. These tales, passed down through generations, hold the essence of the Brazilian spirit, weaving together the hopes, fears, and dreams of countless tribes. Among the many tribes that call Brazil home, each has its own story of how the world was shaped, how the sun was set in the sky, and how life itself sprang forth from the earth. These stories are more than just myths, they are the heartbeats of a people, the echoes of a time when the world was still being formed by the hands of the gods. One of the most cherished stories comes from the Tupi people, who speak of a time when there was only darkness and silence. The world was a vast, empty void, where nothing lived and nothing grew. But in this endless night, there was Tupa, the great god of creation. He was a being of pure light, and his thoughts were filled with the desire to create. It is said that Tupa descended from the heavens in a flash of lightning, striking the earth with his mighty power. Where his light touched, life began to stir. The mountains rose, the rivers flowed, and the forests sprang up, thick and green. Tupa's breath became the wind, and his tears turned into the first rains, nourishing the land and bringing forth the first plants. As he moved across the earth, his footsteps formed valleys and hills, and his voice called out to the heavens, summoning the sun, the moon, and the stars to take their places in the sky. And with each step, each word, the world began to take shape, vibrant and alive. But Tupa did not create the world alone. The Tupi tell of a divine partner, Jackie, the moon goddess, who watched over the night and all its creatures. Together, Tupa and Jackie filled the world with life. From the earth, they shaped the first people, breathing into them the spirit of the land. These first beings were the ancestors of the Tupi, who were given the gift of knowledge and the responsibility to care for the earth. As the Tupi people tell it, the creation of the world was a labor of love, a gift from the gods who saw in the earth a place of beauty and wonder. They believe that every tree, every river, and every creature is a reminder of this divine act, a living testament to the power and generosity of the gods. Yet, not all creation stories are filled with light. The Guarani, another of Brazil's indigenous peoples, speak of a world that was born out of chaos and struggle. They tell of a time when the earth was covered in water, and the sky was shrouded in darkness. There was no land, no light, and no life, only an endless sea that stretched out in all directions. In this world of water, there was a god named Nhandaruvuku, the first father. He lived in the sky, looking down upon the dark, formless world below. Filled with sorrow at the emptiness, he decided to create a land where life could flourish. Nhandaruvuku took a great spear and thrust it into the waters, drawing forth a massive island from the depths. This island became the first land, the foundation upon which the world would be built. But the creation of this land was not easy. As the island rose from the waters, it was attacked by monstrous creatures, beings of chaos that sought to pull it back into the sea. Nhandaruvuku fought them off, using his spear to hold them at bay, but the battle was fierce and long. Finally, with a great cry, he drove the creatures away, sealing the land's place above the water. Exhausted but triumphant, Nhandaruvuku planted the first tree on the new land, its roots stretching deep into the earth, anchoring it firmly. This tree was the Ivarapaida, the sacred tree, from which all other plants and trees would grow. From its branches, he created the first animals, and from its leaves, he shaped the first humans, breathing life into them as they took form. The Guarani believed that the world is a place of constant struggle between order and chaos, a fragile balance that must be maintained. The creation of the earth was the first battle in this eternal war, and it is a reminder that the world, though beautiful, is also a place of danger and challenge. The Guarani people see themselves as the children of this struggle, born from the sacred tree and entrusted with the task of protecting the earth from the forces that would destroy it. Across Brazil, other tribes tell their own stories, each one unique, yet each one echoing the same themes of creation, struggle, and life. The Ticuna people, for instance, speak of Yuá and Ipi, twin gods who created the world together. Yuá, the elder brother, shaped the earth and filled it with life, while Ipi, the younger, brought order to the chaos, teaching the first people how to live in harmony with the world around them. The stories of creation in Brazil are as diverse as the land itself, each one offering a glimpse into the soul of a people, their beliefs, and their connection to the world around them. Whether it is Tupa bringing light to the darkness, Nhandaruvuku battling the forces of chaos, or Yuá and Ipi working together to create harmony, these myths speak to the power of the gods and the deep respect that the people of Brazil have for the world they live in. These tales are not just stories, they are a part of the living history of Brazil, woven into the fabric of the land and the hearts of its people. They remind us that the world is a place of wonder and mystery, where the divine and the earthly are forever intertwined, and where the creation of life is both a gift and a responsibility. The creation myths of Brazil are a celebration of life, a testament to the enduring spirit of a people who see the hand of the gods in every tree, every river, and every living thing. In the heart of the dense, whispering forests of Brazil, where every rustle of leaves carries an ancient story, there are those who walk a path between the worlds of the living and the spirits. These individuals, known as shamans, hold a power that goes beyond the ordinary. They are the keepers of secrets, the protectors of traditions, and the ones who can speak to the forces that shape the world. Their role is not just important, it is sacred. A shaman's journey begins not with choice, but with destiny. Often, it is said that a child born under unusual circumstances, perhaps during a powerful storm or with a special mark, is destined to walk the shaman's path. As they grow, these children are watched closely by the elders, who recognize the signs that set them apart. It is not a life of ease that awaits them, but one of deep responsibility and connection to the unseen. When the time comes, the young shaman undergoes a rite of passage, a ceremony that connects them to the spirits of their ancestors and the natural world. This initiation is both a test and a transformation. Through fasting, isolation, and rituals, the shaman learns to enter a state where the boundaries between the physical and spiritual worlds blur. In this state, they can communicate with the spirits of the forest, the river, and the sky. They become a bridge between the seen and the unseen, a voice for those who cannot be heard. For the people of Brazil, the shaman is more than a healer or a spiritual guide. They are the living memory of the tribe, carrying within them the myths and legends that define their culture. When a story is told by a shaman, it is not just words, it is a living, breathing entity, filled with the power of the spirits. These stories are not merely for entertainment. They are the threads that weave the community together, connecting the present with the past, the people with their land, and the living with the dead. In the flickering light of the fire, when the shadows dance and the night is filled with the sounds of the forest, the shaman speaks. Their voice carries the weight of centuries, telling tales of creation, of heroes and monsters, of gods who walk among men. Each word is chosen with care, for these stories hold the wisdom of the ancestors. They teach the young, guide the adults, and honor the elders. Through these stories, the shaman preserves the identity of the people, ensuring that the knowledge of the past is not lost to time. But the shaman's role is not only to tell stories. They are also the interpreters of dreams, the ones who can understand the messages sent by the spirits. In dreams, the spirits speak in symbols, and it is the shaman who can decipher these signs, revealing the will of the gods or the warnings of the ancestors. A dream of a snake might be a sign of danger, a dream of a river a message of change. It is the shaman who reads these signs, guiding the people through the challenges of life. When sickness strikes, it is the shaman who is called upon to heal. But their healing is not just of the body, it is of the soul. The shaman understands that illness is often the result of a disturbance in the balance between the physical and spiritual worlds. Through rituals, herbs, and prayers, they seek to restore this balance, calling upon the spirits to lend their strength. Sometimes, the shaman must journey to the spirit world, facing dangers that cannot be seen, to retrieve a lost soul or to ask for the intervention of a powerful deity. The shaman's connection to the natural world is profound. They know the language of the animals, the songs of the birds, and the whispers of the trees. They understand that everything in the world is alive, filled with spirit, and deserving of respect. This deep connection allows the shaman to call upon the forces of nature, to ask the river to cleanse, the wind to carry away illness, or the earth to give strength. In times of drought, the shaman may perform rituals to bring rain. In times of plenty, they give thanks to the spirits for their generosity. The shaman's role in preserving myths is inseparable from their connection to the spirit world. Each myth is a story, but it is also a truth, a way of understanding the world and the forces that govern it. Myths are not just stories of the past, they are living guides for the present and the future. They explain why the sun rises and sets, why the seasons change, and why the world is the way it is. Through these myths, the shaman teaches the people how to live in harmony with the world around them, how to respect the spirits, and how to honor the gods. The shaman is a protector of the old ways, ensuring that the myths are passed down from one generation to the next. In a world that is constantly changing, where the old ways are often forgotten or dismissed, the shaman stands as a guardian of tradition. They remind the people of who they are, where they come from, and what is important. Through the shaman, the myths of Brazil live on, not as relics of the past, but as living, breathing stories that continue to shape the world. In the eyes of the people, the shaman is a figure of awe and reverence. They are seen as someone who walks with the gods, who carries the wisdom of the ancestors, and who has the power to heal, to protect, and to guide. The shaman's knowledge is not just of this world, but of the world beyond, and it is this knowledge that makes them both powerful and humble. They understand that their role is not one of personal power, but of service to the community, to the spirits, and to the gods. Through their stories, their rituals, and their connection to the spirit world, the shamans of Brazil keep the myths alive, ensuring that the wisdom of the ancestors is never lost. They are the heart of the people, the ones who hold the threads of tradition, weaving them into the fabric of life. The myths they preserve are not just stories, they are the soul of a culture, the essence of a people, and the voice of the gods. And through the shaman, these myths continue to speak, guiding the people, protecting the land, and honoring the spirits. In the thick, shadowy forests of Brazil, where the canopy is so dense it seems to whisper secrets, there are stories of creatures that blur the lines between reality and fantasy. These are not mere figments of imagination, but beings that hold the heart of Brazilian folklore. Each creature tells a story of wonder, fear, and the unknown. One of the most intriguing figures in this rich tapestry of myths is the boitada, a serpent whose scales burn with an eerie, otherworldly flame. The boitada, with its fiery body, is believed to guard the forests and the rivers from those who would harm them. Its name translates to fiery serpent, and its appearance is enough to make anyone's blood run cold. Local legends say that when the forest is set ablaze by carelessness or malice, the boitada emerges from its lair to extinguish the flames with its own fiery breath, punishing those who disrespected the sacred land. To see its glow in the night is to be reminded of the delicate balance between mankind and nature, a reminder that the forest's anger is not to be trifled with. Then there is the curupira, a guardian of the forest whose backward feet make it almost impossible to track. The curupira is a spirit deeply entwined with the natural world, appearing as a small, red-skinned figure with blazing eyes. This creature's feet, turned backward, leave confusing trails that lead hunters astray, teaching a stern lesson to those who venture into the forest with selfish intentions. The curupira is more than just a protector, it embodies the forest's fierce and enigmatic spirit, safeguarding its secrets and punishing those who dare to exploit it. In the murky waters of the Amazon, another myth takes shape in the form of the Aira, a stunning water nymph with the power to enchant and seduce. Her beauty is said to be so captivating that it lures unsuspecting men to their doom. According to legend, Aira lives in the depths of rivers and lakes, emerging to entice those who wander too close. The spell she casts is not just one of physical attraction but of complete enchantment, drawing men into the water where they are lost forever. Her story serves as a cautionary tale about the dangers of succumbing to seductive illusions and the importance of heeding warnings. The Saci-Pererê is another well-known mythical being, a trickster spirit with a single leg and a red hat. Saci-Pererê is known for his mischievous antics, from causing harmless pranks to creating more significant disruptions. He is often seen as a figure of fun, but his tricks serve as a reminder of the unpredictable nature of the world and the necessity to approach it with respect and humility. In many ways, Saci-Pererê embodies the spirit of playful chaos, highlighting the balance between order and disorder in life. Each of these creatures holds a special place in the folklore of Brazil, embodying the beliefs and fears of the people. They are not mere stories to be told around a campfire, they are woven into the very fabric of the cultural consciousness. Their legends serve as moral lessons, cultural touchstones, and reminders of the mystical forces that are believed to shape the world. The boitada, with its fiery vengeance, is a symbol of nature's power and the consequences of its mistreatment. The curupira's backward feet remind us of the intricacies of the forest and the importance of respecting its mysteries. Aira's enchanting beauty is a caution against the perils of temptation and the need for vigilance. Saci-Pererê's tricks are a playful nod to the unpredictable nature of life and the value of laughter amidst challenges. Together, these mythical creatures form a vibrant mosaic of Brazilian folklore, each story blending into the next, creating a rich and vivid tapestry of imagination and belief. They are more than just characters in a story, they are the embodiment of the land's spirit, the reflection of its people's values, and the guardians of its cultural heritage. Each creature's legend carries the weight of generations, a testament to the enduring power of storytelling and the unbreakable bond between people and their myths. In the dim twilight, when the world is just beginning to settle into the embrace of night, whispers of an eerie tale begin to circulate among the shadows. The story of the headless mule, or Mula Semcabica, drifts like a chilling breeze through the quiet, haunted corners of rural Brazil. This is not just a tale to be told, it is a haunting reminder of sin, punishment, and the fear of retribution that keeps the heart racing long after the story has been shared. The Mula Semcabica is a spectral figure, a mule that roams the night without a head, its neck bleeding and its body draped in tattered remnants of what once was. It is said that this cursed creature is the result of a dreadful sin, a woman's betrayal of her vows, or an illicit affair with a priest or religious figure. In many versions of the story, the woman, consumed by her own desires and defying the sacred rules of faith and morality, faces a horrifying transformation as punishment. As the moonlight filters through the dense trees, the Mula Semcabica appears, galloping across the landscape with a haunting bray that echoes through the night. The absence of its head only adds to its terror. Imagine the sight of a creature moving with the force of an unleashed storm, its neck a gaping void from which blood flows freely. The tale warns of the consequences of sin, portraying a vivid image of divine retribution that is as frightening as it is clear. The story varies across regions, but the core remains the same. The headless mule is not merely a ghost, but a relentless force, forever bound to roam the earth in a state of unrest. The creature is said to be driven by an unquenchable thirst for vengeance, seeking out those who stray from the path of righteousness. Its appearance at night serves as a grim reminder of the eternal punishment awaiting those who violate the sacred and moral laws. The Mula Semcabica's path is marked by its terrifying bray and the sight of its bleeding neck. Witnesses speak of its fearsome presence as it gallops through the darkened fields, a shadowy silhouette against the moonlit sky. Those who have claimed to see it often describe a shiver running down their spine, a deep-seated dread that settles into their bones. This is no ordinary ghost story, it is a visceral experience that taps into the deepest fears of retribution and punishment. The legend of the Mula Semcabica extends beyond mere superstition. It is a powerful symbol of the moral and spiritual consequences of sin. In many ways, it serves as a cautionary tale, a way to enforce the boundaries of acceptable behavior and remind people of the ever-watchful eye of divine justice. The headless mule becomes a tangible representation of the intangible concept of punishment, a vivid illustration of how one's actions can lead to an unending cycle of torment. Local tales often recount the fate of those who encounter the Mula Semcabica. Some say that if you hear its bray or catch sight of its ghastly form, you should avoid looking directly at it or speaking of it aloud, for to do so might invite its wrath. Others tell of the tragic end of those who try to confront it or flee from it, only to be cursed themselves. The story serves as a stark reminder of the thin line between the sacred and the profane, between right and wrong. The Mula Semcabica's haunting presence is more than a story, it is a cultural marker, a reflection of the collective fears and values of those who tell it. It embodies the consequences of moral failings and the severity of divine retribution. Each bray and each glimpse of the headless mule resonates with the deep-seated belief in justice and the eternal consequences of one's actions. As the night draws in and the shadows lengthen, the legend of the Mula Semcabica lingers in the air, a chilling reminder of the cost of sin. It is a story that, while terrifying, also holds a deeper truth about the nature of justice and the importance of living a life of integrity. The headless mule is not merely a ghost, it is the embodiment of the fear that drives people to uphold their moral and spiritual values, a spectral enforcer of the rules that govern the heart and soul. In the heart of Brazil's ancient forests, where the trees stand tall and whisper secrets of old, the Nhanga moves like a ghostly breeze. This elusive spirit, shrouded in mystery and reverence, watches over the land with a deep and haunting presence. The Nhanga is not just a figure in folklore but a living embodiment of nature's mysteries, a spectral guardian whose role is both protector and avenger. The forest is where the Nhanga is most at home. It is said that he prowls among the trees, his presence felt rather than seen. The rustling of leaves, the sudden hush of the forest, and the fleeting glimpse of a shadowy figure are all signs that the Nhanga is near. This spirit is not bound by earthly limitations, but floats through the forest with a graceful, eerie silence. His form is often described as a dark, indistinct shape, sometimes taking the guise of a spectral animal, such as a deer or a jaguar, whose eyes glow with an unnatural light. The Anhanga is known for his fierce protection of the animals that dwell within his realm. To him, the forest is a sacred place, and its creatures are his charges. Legend tells of his anger toward those who would harm the forest or its inhabitants. Hunters who enter the forest with malicious intent or who kill more than they need often find themselves facing the wrath of the Anhanga. The spirit is said to lead them astray, causing them to become lost in the woods, or to make their hunts fruitless, ensuring they leave the forest empty-handed. One of the most chilling aspects of the Anhanga's legend is his ability to curse those who disrespect the forest. The curse of the Anhanga is feared deeply, as it is said to bring illness, misfortune, or even death to those who offend the spirit. The stories speak of people who, after offending the forest, suddenly fall ill with mysterious ailments, or whose lives are marked by a series of unfortunate events. This supernatural retribution serves as a powerful reminder of the respect that is owed to nature and its guardians. In contrast to his vengeful side, the Anhanga is also seen as a benevolent protector of the forest. The spirit is believed to guide lost travelers and help those in genuine need. Those who approach the forest with reverence and seek only to understand or admire its beauty often find themselves blessed by the Anhanga. There are tales of individuals who, after becoming lost in the forest, are guided to safety by a mysterious, unseen force, or of hunters who return with bountiful game after showing respect to the forest and its inhabitants. The Anhanga's role as the guardian of the forest highlights the deep connection between the indigenous people and their environment. This spirit embodies the belief that nature is not just a resource but a living, breathing entity deserving of respect and protection. The Anhanga's presence serves as a constant reminder of the delicate balance between humanity and nature and the consequences of disrupting that balance. Local folklore also speaks of the Anhanga's ability to transform himself into various animals, each with its own set of characteristics and symbolism. In some stories, he appears as a majestic deer with antlers like branches of ancient trees, symbolizing wisdom and the enduring strength of nature. In others, he takes the form of a jaguar, embodying the stealth and power that the forest holds within its depths. These transformations reflect the spirit's deep connection to the forest and its creatures, reinforcing the idea that he is an integral part of the natural world. In the quiet of the forest, when the sun sets and the shadows lengthen, the legend of the Anhanga comes alive. The rustling leaves and the whispers of the wind carry stories of this enigmatic spirit, whose presence reminds all who enter the forest of the sacredness of the land and the creatures that inhabit it. The Anhanga is both a protector and a warning, a spectral guardian whose legacy endures in the hearts and minds of those who respect the natural world. Through the legend of the Anhanga, the forest becomes more than just a backdrop to life. It transforms into a living entity with its own guardian, a spirit whose presence infuses the air with a sense of awe and reverence. The Anhanga's story is a testament to the enduring connection between humanity and nature, a reminder of the power and mystery that lie within the depths of the forest, waiting to be acknowledged and respected. In the heart of Brazil's untamed wilderness, where the dense canopy of trees shrouds the world in shadows and the rivers flow like ancient veins, there exist beings of enchantment whose tales stir the soul. These are the encantados, ethereal creatures believed to dwell in the hidden corners of rivers and forests, their stories filled with magic, mystery, and haunting beauty. Imagine a river glistening under the moonlight, its surface smooth and mirror-like. Beneath the water, where shadows dance and secrets lurk, the encantados make their home. These beings are not of flesh and bone but of myth and magic, their existence woven into the fabric of the natural world. They are often described as stunningly beautiful, with a charm that could captivate even the most wary of hearts. Their allure is so profound that those who encounter them are forever changed, their lives touched by an otherworldly grace. The encantados are known for their ability to transform into alluring figures, enchanting those who wander too close to their domains. In the river's depths, they might appear as captivating mermaids with shimmering scales and flowing hair, their voices singing melodies that drift through the water like a soft caress. On land, they could be seen as graceful beings with an almost hypnotic beauty, their presence enchanting all who cross their path. They are often depicted with an air of sadness, their eternal beauty masking a deeper longing and solitude. One of the most compelling aspects of the Encantados is their ability to bestow both blessings and curses. Those who are fortunate enough to win their favor might find themselves gifted with extraordinary luck, prosperity, or insight. A single encounter with an Encantado could lead to a stroke of good fortune or a chance at greatness. But those who fail to show respect or who disturb their sacred realms may face dire consequences. The same enchantment that brings blessings can also carry a curse, with misfortune and despair following those who displease these mystical beings. Local folklore tells of countless stories where the Encantados played pivotal roles in the lives of ordinary people. One tale speaks of a fisherman who, after a chance encounter with an Encantado, found his nets overflowing with fish, his family never wanting for food again. Yet, the same tale warns of the fisherman's hubris. Believing himself untouchable, he grew careless and disrespectful. The Encantado's gift turned to a curse, and he was left with empty nets and a broken heart, forever haunted by the beauty that had once graced his life. Another story whispers of a lost traveler who stumbled upon a hidden grove, only to be greeted by an Encantado who offered guidance. The traveler, moved by the creature's kindness, followed its directions and found his way home safely. However, he carried a piece of the enchanted grove with him, a crystal that brought both joy and sorrow, as the beauty of the crystal reminded him of the magical encounter and the realm he could never fully return to. The Encantados are also known for their connection to the natural world, serving as guardians of the rivers and forests they inhabit. They are believed to protect these sacred places, ensuring that the balance of nature is maintained. To the indigenous people, harming these environments is a grave sin, as it disrupts the harmony that the Encantados strive to preserve. The tales of their enchantment serve as powerful reminders of the need to respect and protect the natural world. At the heart of these legends is a profound sense of longing and melancholy. The Encantados, despite their beauty and magic, are often depicted as creatures bound by their own enchantments, yearning for something they can never fully attain. This sense of unfulfilled desire and the sadness that accompanies it is a recurring theme in their stories. They are beings of incredible beauty and power, yet they remain eternally apart from the world they enchant, their existence a poignant reminder of the cost of their otherworldly grace. In the quiet moments of twilight, when the forest holds its breath and the river's surface shimmers with the last light of day, the stories of the Encantados come alive. They are a reminder of the magic that pulses through the veins of the earth, a testament to the beauty and mystery that lie just beyond the veil of the known. Their tales are woven into the very essence of the land, their enchantment a touchstone for the wonder and awe that nature inspires. As the sun sets and the first stars twinkle in the sky, a magical transformation takes place in Brazil. Streets that are usually bustling with everyday life suddenly become alive with vibrant colors and captivating sounds. The air is filled with a sense of excitement and wonder as communities come together to celebrate their rich tapestry of myths and legends through festivals and rituals. The Festival of Folklore is not just an event, it's a living, breathing celebration of Brazil's soul, where ancient stories leap from the pages of history and dance in the streets. It's a time when the boundary between the past and present blurs, allowing the spirits of the old myths to mingle with the lively festivities of today. Imagine walking through a street adorned with dazzling decorations, each one reflecting the intricate patterns and vivid hues of traditional Brazilian art. Lanterns shaped like mythical creatures cast a warm, inviting glow. The air is filled with the aroma of delicious foods, each dish crafted with care and steeped in cultural significance. The rhythm of drums and the sound of flutes blend together in a symphony that makes your heart beat faster, echoing the heartbeat of the land. People gather in colorful costumes that bring legendary figures to life. The streets come alive with actors portraying gods and mythical creatures, their performances mesmerizing and enchanting. They tell the stories of the Encantados, the magical beings that dwell in rivers and forests, and of the powerful Tupa, the supreme deity of the Guarani. Each performance is a vivid retelling of ancient tales, filled with energy and emotion that captures the essence of the myths. The dances are particularly breathtaking. Dancers move with an almost otherworldly grace, their bodies swaying to rhythms that seem to echo the heartbeat of the earth itself. As they twirl and leap, their costumes shimmer with sequins and feathers, creating a dazzling spectacle that captivates all who watch. These dances are more than just entertainment. They are a form of reverence, a way of honoring the ancient gods and spirits who continue to shape the world. The rituals performed during these festivals are deeply symbolic and profoundly moving. Some rituals involve offerings to the spirits of the forest, with participants placing fruits and flowers at the base of ancient trees. Others include ceremonies that invoke the spirits of ancestors, honoring their memory and seeking their guidance. Each ritual is performed with a sense of deep respect and connection to the past, a reminder of the enduring presence of these ancient forces in the lives of the people. One of the most touching aspects of the Festival of Folklore is the way it brings communities together. Families, friends, and strangers join hands to celebrate their shared heritage. There is a sense of unity and belonging that fills the air, a feeling that transcends individual differences and connects everyone through a common thread of history and tradition. The joy and laughter that fill the streets are a testament to the power of these ancient stories to bring people together and create a sense of collective identity. Children, wide-eyed and full of wonder, are especially enchanted by the festival. They listen in awe as elders recount the tales of mythical beings and ancient gods. For them, the festival is a magical experience, a chance to see the legends they've heard about come to life before their eyes. Their excitement and curiosity are infectious, adding to the overall sense of wonder that pervades the celebration. As the night progresses, the festival often culminates in a grand display of fireworks. The sky lights up with bursts of color, each explosion a celebration of the myths and legends that have been brought to life throughout the day. The sight of the fireworks, combined with the sound of joyous cheers and the rhythmic beat of music, creates a sense of euphoria and triumph. The Festival of Folklore is more than just a celebration, it is a profound expression of cultural identity and continuity. It is a time when the past and present come together in a vibrant tapestry of color, sound, and emotion. Through the festivals and rituals, the people of Brazil honor their ancestors, celebrate their myths, and keep their cultural heritage alive for future generations. The magic of the festival is not just in the stories that are told, but in the way these stories continue to shape and enrich the lives of those who celebrate them. In the heart of Brazil, music and dance are not just forms of entertainment, they are the very pulse of the land's mythology. As the first notes of a drumbeat echo through the air, they seem to awaken the ancient spirits and myths that have shaped the culture for centuries. The rhythms, melodies, and movements are not just performances, they are living expressions of Brazil's rich tapestry of legends and beliefs. When the drumbeats start, they tell stories that have been passed down through generations. The rhythms are not random, they follow patterns that echo the heartbeat of the earth itself. Each beat, each sound, is a tribute to the gods and mythical beings that are an integral part of Brazilian folklore. The drums, with their deep, resonant tones, connect the present to the past, creating a bridge between the living and the mythic. Dance, too, plays a crucial role in this connection. Every movement, every swirl and step, is a way of honoring the deities and spirits that are central to Brazilian mythology. Dancers embody the stories of the gods and mythical creatures with grace and passion, their bodies telling tales of ancient battles, divine love, and the mysteries of the natural world. As they dance, it's as if the legends themselves come alive, swirling around them in a vibrant tapestry of motion. One of the most powerful connections between dance and mythology is found in the traditional samba and capoeira. Samba, with its lively, rhythmic beats, is more than just a dance, it is a celebration of life and spirit. Its movements often reflect the energy and joy of the mythical beings celebrated in Brazilian folklore. When dancers perform samba, they are not just moving to the music, they are embodying the vitality and essence of the gods and spirits they revere. Capoeira, a martial art that combines dance, music, and acrobatics, also carries deep mythological significance. Its origins are intertwined with stories of resistance and survival. The graceful yet powerful movements of capoeira reflect the strength and resilience of the mythical heroes and spirits who fought to protect their people. The dance itself becomes a form of storytelling, each movement and maneuver a tribute to the legends of bravery and endurance. Music and dance also play a significant role in rituals and ceremonies. During these sacred events, every note and step is a form of communication with the divine. The rhythms of the drums and the swirls of the dancers are not just performances, they are offerings to the gods, a way of expressing gratitude and seeking blessings. The ceremonies are imbued with a sense of reverence and connection, as if the very act of dancing and drumming is a form of prayer. The traditional songs and chants that accompany these dances are rich with mythological references. They recount the adventures of gods, the creation of the world, and the deeds of legendary heroes. These songs are more than just words, they are a living record of the myths that have shaped Brazilian culture. When sung in the rhythm of a dance or the beat of a drum, they become a powerful reminder of the connection between the divine and the everyday. The role of music and dance in Brazilian mythology extends beyond mere performance. They are an essential part of the cultural identity, a way of keeping the myths alive and relevant in the modern world. Through these art forms, the stories of the gods and mythical creatures continue to be told and retold, each performance a new chapter in the ever-evolving narrative of Brazilian folklore. Children, too, are introduced to these myths through music and dance. From a young age, they learn the rhythms and steps that are steeped in cultural significance. Through playful dances and songs, they connect with the ancient stories and traditions of their ancestors. This early exposure helps to instill a deep sense of cultural pride and continuity, ensuring that the myths and legends remain a vibrant part of everyday life. As the festival nights turn to dawn and the final beats of the drums fade into the morning light, the impact of music and dance on Brazilian mythology is clear. These art forms are not just expressions of culture, they are the heartbeat of the myths that continue to shape and define the lives of the people. Through every rhythm, every movement, and every song, the ancient stories live on, woven into the very fabric of Brazilian life. The rhythmic pulse of drums echoes through the night air, a heartbeat that connects the ancient past to the vibrant present. Under the canopy of stars, the flicker of candlelight dances on the faces of the gathered, their eyes filled with reverence. Here, in the sacred space of Candomblé, the myths and spirits of African traditions breathe life into Brazilian mythology, weaving a tapestry of faith, history, and passion. Candomblé is not just a religion, it is a profound expression of cultural identity and spiritual connection. Rooted in the traditions brought by enslaved Africans to Brazil, it has become a beacon of cultural resilience and a bridge between worlds. Its impact on Brazilian mythology is both powerful and heart-stirring, a testament to the strength and beauty of its traditions. In Candomblé, the orixás, divine spirits of nature and human experience, are the central figures. Each orixá embodies specific aspects of life and the natural world. They are more than just deities, they are the living embodiment of natural forces, ancestors, and the spiritual essence of the universe. Their stories are woven into the fabric of Brazilian mythology, shaping the way people understand their world and their place within it. Imagine the vibrant dance of Exu, the orixá of communication and transformation. His presence is felt in every whisper of the wind, every flicker of a flame. Exu is the messenger between the human world and the divine, his energy a vital force that brings change and new beginnings. His stories are filled with lessons about the balance of life and the importance of communication, both with the divine and among people. Through ritual dances and songs, his essence comes alive, guiding and protecting those who seek his favor. Then there is Ogum, the orixá of iron and war. His powerful energy channels through the sounds of drums and the clashing of metal, symbolizing strength and determination. Ogum is the warrior who fights for justice and protection, embodying the spirit of resilience and courage. His mythological tales are filled with epic battles and victories, inspiring those who honor him to face their own struggles with bravery and resolve. The gentle and nurturing energy of Iemanjá, the goddess of the sea, is another cornerstone of Candomblé's influence on Brazilian mythology. Her presence is felt in the waves that crash upon the shore and the soothing rhythms of the ocean. Iemanjá's stories speak of motherhood, fertility, and the protective embrace of the sea. Her festivals are marked by offerings of flowers and gifts cast into the waters, a heartfelt gesture of love and respect for the nurturing spirit that she represents. In the heart of Candomble, the spirit of Aksasi, the Orisha of the forest and hunting, brings a sense of connection to the land. His presence is in the rustling leaves and the calls of the wild, guiding hunters and protectors of the natural world. Aksasi's stories reflect the deep bond between humans and nature, highlighting the sacredness of the land and the importance of respecting its gifts. The impact of Candomble on Brazilian mythology extends beyond the rituals and stories. It has shaped the way people perceive their connection to the divine and the natural world. The Orishas are not distant gods, but active participants in the lives of those who honor them. Their influence can be seen in the vibrant festivals, the sacred dances, and the deep respect for the forces of nature that are a hallmark of Brazilian culture. Through Candomble, the ancient myths and spiritual practices of Africa have found a new home in Brazil, enriching the country's cultural and religious landscape. The integration of African spiritual traditions with indigenous and colonial elements has created a unique blend of beliefs and practices. This fusion has given rise to a mythology that is both deeply rooted in its historical origins and continuously evolving with each new generation. As the drums beat and the dancers whirl, the presence of the Orishas fills the air, a reminder of the enduring power of myth and tradition. The rituals of Candomble are not merely performances but living expressions of a spiritual heritage that continues to inspire and guide those who embrace it. Each dance step, each song, and each offering is a testament to the profound impact of Candomble on Brazilian mythology, a celebration of the divine and the sacred that transcends time and space. Under the relentless sun of Brazil's northeast, where the land stretches out in a tapestry of parched earth and rolling hills, legends come to life in the whispers of the wind and the cracks of the desert soil. In this harsh yet mesmerizing region known as the Sertão, myths spring forth from the ancient heartbeat of the land, telling stories of courage, mystery, and the unyielding spirit of its people. One such legend is that of the Curupira, a mythical being whose presence is woven into the fabric of the Sertão's folklore. The Curupira is said to be a guardian of the forest, a spirit with backward feet that confound hunters and protect the woodland creatures from harm. His footprints, facing the wrong way, lead anyone who tries to harm the forest in circles, a clever trick of nature's protector. As the sun sets and the shadows lengthen, the Curupira's laugh can be heard echoing through the trees, a sound both chilling and comforting, reminding all who hear it of the sacred duty to respect and protect the land. Then there is the Cuca, a terrifying witch-like creature whose mere name sends shivers down the spine. The Cuca is said to be a monstrous old woman with a fearsome face and claws that can snatch away misbehaving children. Her stories are told around the hearth, not merely to frighten, but to instill a sense of discipline and respect in young hearts. In the dark of the Sertão night, the Cuca's legend serves as a stark reminder of the consequences of straying too far from the path of righteousness. Among these legends, there is the tale of Lampião, the notorious bandit king whose name is synonymous with both rebellion and romance in the Sertão. Lampião, also known as Virgilino Ferreira da Silva, is a larger-than-life figure whose exploits are recounted with a mixture of awe and reverence. He was a Robin Hood figure to many, fighting against the oppression of the landowners while living by his own set of rules. His story is one of fierce loyalty and unyielding resistance, with tales of daring escapades and dramatic confrontations that capture the indomitable spirit of the Sertão people. The Sertão's mythology also encompasses the Mãe-d'Água, a benevolent water spirit believed to dwell in the scarce and precious wells scattered across the region. Mãe-d'Água is said to appear as a beautiful woman who helps those in dire need of water. Her presence is a symbol of life and survival in a land where every drop counts. Stories of her kindness and the miracles she performs are passed down through generations, reinforcing the reverence for the life-giving resource that sustains the Sertão. In the silent, dusty expanses of the Sertão, the Chão de Caca, or hunting dog, is another figure of myth. Unlike ordinary dogs, these creatures are said to possess supernatural abilities, guiding hunters with unerring precision and appearing in times of dire need. They are seen as loyal companions who bridge the gap between the physical and the spiritual realms, embodying the hope and resilience of the Sertão's people. These myths are more than just stories, they are a lifeline, connecting the people of the Sertão to their ancestors and their land. They offer explanations for the harsh realities of life in the region and instill a sense of wonder and respect for the natural world. Each tale carries with it lessons of bravery, wisdom, and the sacred duty to live in harmony with the environment. As the Soteo sun dips below the horizon, the stars emerge, and the myths of the region come alive in the glow of campfires and the rustle of the wind. These legends are shared with passion and pride, a testament to the enduring spirit of a land that, despite its harshness, holds a beauty and mystery that captivates all who hear its stories. Through these myths, the Soteo's people find strength and solace, a connection to their past, and a guide for navigating the challenges of the present. In the heart of Brazil's history, where the struggle for freedom and dignity shines through the shadows of oppression, the story of Zumbi rises like a beacon of hope and resistance. Zumbi dos Palmares, a name etched into the soul of a nation, symbolizes the relentless fight for liberty and justice, and his legend continues to stir emotions and inspire pride. Born into the brutal realities of slavery, Zumbi's early life was marked by unimaginable hardship. But from the darkest corners of oppression, a spark of defiance ignited within him. His life took a dramatic turn when he escaped the chains of enslavement and joined the Quilombo dos Palmares, a refuge for runaway slaves deep in the Brazilian hinterlands. This settlement, a beacon of hope for the oppressed, became the stronghold of Zumbi's revolutionary spirit. Zumbi emerged as a fearless leader, a warrior king whose very name became synonymous with resistance. Under his command, Palmares transformed into a fortress of freedom, a symbol of what could be achieved through unity and courage. The Quilombo stood as a testament to human resilience, defying the odds and challenging the brutal colonial forces that sought to crush their spirit. The legend of Zumbi is not just a tale of military might, but a narrative woven with profound courage and unyielding resolve. His leadership was marked by strategic brilliance and an unshakable commitment to the cause. Zumbi was not just a warrior, he was a symbol of hope, embodying the dreams of countless souls yearning for freedom. Yet, his struggle was not without its heartaches. The fight for liberation was marred by constant battles and betrayals. Zumbi's final stand was a heroic, yet tragic chapter in his story. The relentless forces of the colonizers, determined to quash the dream of freedom, pressed on with an iron fist. Despite his valiant efforts and the unwavering spirit of his people, the Quilombo was eventually overrun, and Zumbi met his untimely death. But even in death, Zumbi's legacy did not fade. His sacrifice became a rallying cry for future generations, a symbol of resistance against tyranny and oppression. His life is commemorated with reverence, his name forever etched in the annals of history as a champion of freedom. In the modern era, Zumbi's spirit endures through celebrations and remembrance. November 20th, the day of his death, is celebrated as Black Awareness Day in Brazil, honoring his contribution to the fight against racial injustice. Schools and communities hold events to remember his bravery and the principles he stood for, ensuring that the flame of his resistance continues to inspire new generations. The story of Zumbi dos Palmares resonates deeply, a reminder of the enduring human spirit in the face of adversity. His legend is a poignant testament to the power of courage and the relentless pursuit of freedom. As the echoes of his fight reverberate through the corridors of time, Zumbi's legacy remains a powerful symbol of hope, justice, and the unbreakable will to overcome the chains of oppression. In the vibrant tapestry of modern storytelling, Brazilian mythology threads its way into the hearts of audiences, weaving tales of ancient gods, mystical creatures, and legendary heroes into the fabric of contemporary media. Today, these myths leap from the pages of old texts and the whispers of ancient lore onto screens and books, capturing imaginations around the world with a blend of magic and emotion. On the silver screen, Brazilian myths have found a powerful voice. Films bring to life the enchanting tales of Aera, the mesmerizing water nymph whose beauty and danger intertwine like the river currents she commands. Her story, once whispered around campfires, now dazzles in cinematic splendor, making audiences shiver with both awe and dread as they watch her allure and treachery unfold in stunning visuals. The transformation of these legends into film creates an immersive experience, pulling viewers into a world where myth and reality dance together. Television series have also embraced the rich palette of Brazilian folklore. In episodic storytelling, the myths of the Amazon come alive, painting landscapes with vibrant colors and mythical creatures. Shows breathe life into the mysterious Curupira, the forest guardian with backward feet, whose playful yet protective presence casts a spell over viewers. The narrative unfolds in episodes filled with suspense and wonder, inviting audiences to witness the magic of Brazilian forests through the eyes of these legendary beings. Modern literature, too, has embraced these ancient stories with a fresh perspective. Books reimagine the ancient myths, weaving them into contemporary narratives that resonate with today's readers. In the pages of novels, the enigmatic Boitada, the fiery serpent, slithers into the hearts of readers, its flames reflecting both danger and protection. Through evocative prose and gripping plots, these stories invite readers to explore the depths of Brazilian mythology in new and compelling ways. Graphic novels and comic books offer a visual feast, translating Brazilian myths into dynamic and colorful artwork. Characters like the trickster Saci-Pererê leap off the pages with their mischievous antics and magical feats, captivating young and old alike. These modern adaptations introduce Brazilian folklore to a global audience, blending tradition with contemporary style to create a unique reading experience. In each of these mediums, Brazilian myths are not just retold, they are reimagined and revitalized. The stories of ancient deities and mythical creatures are woven into the fabric of modern narratives, resonating with themes of love, bravery, and justice. Through these retellings, the legends of old are given new life, reminding audiences of their timeless relevance and emotional power. The impact of Brazilian mythology in modern media extends beyond mere entertainment. It serves as a bridge between cultures, bringing the rich heritage of Brazilian folklore to a global stage. As viewers and readers from around the world engage with these stories, they gain a glimpse into a world of wonder and mystery, where ancient gods and mythical beings continue to inspire and captivate. In the end, the presence of Brazilian mythology in modern media is a testament to the enduring power of these ancient tales. They continue to enchant and resonate, offering a poignant reminder of the timeless nature of myth and the enduring human fascination with stories that bridge the gap between the mystical and the real. In the heart of Brazil's folklore, the tales of folk heroes pulse with vibrant energy and profound emotion. These legends are more than just stories, they are the very soul of a people, a bridge between the past and the present, weaving threads of bravery, wisdom, and resilience into the fabric of the nation's cultural identity. One such hero is the legendary Lampião, whose name evokes both fear and admiration. Known as the King of the Cangaceiros, Lampião roamed the arid Sertão with his band of outlaws. His tale is one of daring escapades and relentless defiance. Amidst the harsh landscape, he became a symbol of resistance against oppression. His charisma and cunning turned him into a figure of almost mythical proportions. The stories of his battles, his clever escapes, and his leadership make him a folk hero whose legacy resonates deeply with the people of Brazil, embodying the struggle for justice in a world often marred by hardship. Then there's Maria Bonita, Lampião's fierce partner. Her role in the legends is not just as a companion but as a formidable leader in her own right. Maria Bonita defied traditional gender roles, wielding a weapon with skill and a resolve that matched her partner's. Her story is one of courage and defiance, and it inspires countless tales of bravery. Together, they became a symbol of resistance, their love and partnership reflecting the complex dynamics of their time and their shared fight against the forces that sought to subjugate them. The tale of Antonio Conselheiro brings another layer to Brazil's rich tapestry of folk heroes. A charismatic religious leader, Conselheiro led a massive religious movement in the arid Sertão, building a community of followers who saw him as a messianic figure. His story is both tragic and inspiring, illustrating his unyielding faith and his quest for social reform. Despite facing relentless opposition and eventually meeting a tragic end, his legacy endures, symbolizing the power of conviction and the pursuit of a just cause. The folk hero Jeca Tatu represents a different kind of bravery. Unlike the larger-than-life figures of Lampião and Conselheiro, Jeca Tatu is a more humble, yet equally profound, symbol. He is the embodiment of the rural Brazilian peasant, portrayed with humor and simplicity. His stories reflect the struggles and resilience of ordinary people facing the hardships of rural life. Through his character, the folk tales capture the essence of Brazilian rural life, highlighting the dignity and perseverance of those who toil the land. The enchanting figure of the Curupira also stands tall among Brazilian folk heroes. Known for his backward feet and fiery red hair, the Curupira is a guardian spirit of the forest. He protects the animals and the environment from those who would cause harm. His stories are filled with magical mischief and stern justice as he punishes those who disrespect the forest and its creatures. The Curupira's legend serves as a reminder of the deep connection between people and nature, reflecting the sacredness of the natural world in Brazilian culture. Each of these folk heroes carries a piece of Brazil's heart and history, their stories woven into the cultural consciousness. Their tales are told with a blend of reverence and affection, each one embodying values of courage, justice, and resilience. The legends of Lampião, Maria Bonita, Antonio Conselheiro, Jeca Tatu, and the Curupira are not merely relics of the past, they are living symbols of the Brazilian spirit, resonating with emotions and ideals that continue to shape the nation's identity. In the telling of these stories, the folk heroes of Brazil come alive, their struggles and triumphs echoing through time. They are more than just figures of legend, they are the embodiment of the human spirit, reflecting the values and dreams of a people who have faced adversity with unwavering resolve and unbreakable spirit. Through these heroes, Brazil's rich tapestry of folklore is preserved and celebrated, their stories touching the hearts of those who hear them and reminding us all of the enduring power of myth and legend. In the heart of Brazil, the whisper of the wind through the dense rainforests and the roar of the Amazon River are not merely sounds of nature, they are the voices of ancient myths and legends. Here, the natural environment is not just a backdrop but a living, breathing entity that shapes and colors the stories passed down through generations. Each tree, river, and mountain is imbued with a sense of magic and mystery, reflecting the deep connection between the land and the myths that arise from it. Take the majestic Amazon rainforest, a sprawling green expanse teeming with life and secrets. The sheer size and diversity of this environment have given rise to countless legends. The dense foliage and the seemingly endless canopy create an atmosphere ripe for enchantment. Creatures like the Curupira, with its backward feet and fiery red hair, are believed to protect the forest and its animals from harm. The Curupira is a guardian of nature's sanctity, punishing those who disrespect the forest. The dense, uncharted woods where the Curupira roams are not just settings but integral parts of the myth, embodying the wild and untamed spirit of the natural world. Rivers, too, hold a special place in Brazilian mythology. The mighty Amazon River, with its dark, mysterious waters, is home to the Boto, an enchanted dolphin who transforms into a handsome man to seduce women. The river's vastness and the life-giving sustenance it provides add layers of mystery to the Boto's tale. The river itself is a symbol of both life and danger, reflecting the dual nature of the Boto's existence as a benevolent guide and a seductive trickster. The jagged mountains and arid plains of Brazil also feature prominently in its myths. In the Sertão, the vast, dry landscape gives rise to tales of resilience and struggle. The landscape itself, harsh and unforgiving, shapes the stories of heroes like Lampião, whose defiance against the oppressive forces mirrors the rugged terrain he navigates. The harsh environment of the Sertão becomes a character in these legends, reflecting the hardships and tenacity of those who live there. The skies, too, are woven into the fabric of Brazilian myths. The dazzling colors of the sunset and the star-studded night sky are often seen as manifestations of divine or supernatural forces. The myths speak of celestial beings and cosmic events that are intertwined with the rhythms of nature. The stories of creation and transformation often draw on the majestic, ever-changing sky, reinforcing the idea that the natural world and the divine are closely linked. In Brazilian folklore, the natural environment is not just a setting but a living, breathing participant in the myths. The spirits and deities of the land are deeply connected to the elements, whether they are the fierce storms that shape the rivers or the quiet, nurturing forests that shelter countless creatures. These myths capture the essence of the natural world, portraying it as both a source of wonder and a force to be respected. The role of nature in these myths is more than just symbolic. It reflects a profound understanding of the environment and its rhythms. The legends speak of the balance between humanity and nature, highlighting the need to live in harmony with the land. The stories serve as reminders of the interconnectedness of all life and the importance of respecting the natural world. As the natural world shapes and influences these myths, so too do the myths shape the way people see and interact with their environment. The legends create a sense of wonder and reverence for the natural world, imbuing the land with a sacred quality. Through these stories, the people of Brazil maintain a deep connection to their surroundings, seeing in the rivers, forests, and mountains not just natural features but living symbols of their heritage and beliefs. In the rich tapestry of Brazilian mythology, nature is not a passive backdrop but an active and powerful force. It shapes the stories, influences the characters, and breathes life into the legends. The natural environment and the myths that arise from it are inseparable, each reflecting and reinforcing the other in a harmonious dance of life and legend. The profound connection between the land and the stories that emerge from it speaks to a deep-seated respect for nature and its role in shaping human experience. In the heart of Brazil, the vibrant rhythms of drums and the swaying movements of dancers tell a story that spans continents and centuries. Here, the ancient gods of Africa, known as Orishas, are not just relics of the past but living, breathing entities whose presence is felt deeply in the fabric of Brazilian culture and spirituality. These deities, once worshipped in the vast lands of Africa, have found a new home in the lush, diverse landscapes of Brazil, merging seamlessly with local traditions and giving rise to a unique cultural tapestry. The Orishas arrived in Brazil through the harrowing journey of the African slaves, who carried their gods and beliefs across the Atlantic. These gods, with their rich histories and vibrant personalities, became intertwined with the lives of the people who welcomed them. They did not merely adapt to their new surroundings, they transformed and grew, finding new expressions and meanings in the Brazilian context. Take Oxen, the goddess of rivers, fertility, and love. In Africa, she is revered for her nurturing spirit and her connection to the life-giving waters. In Brazil, Oxen's essence flows through the vibrant festivals that celebrate her, where people gather by rivers and lakes to honor her with offerings and dances. Her presence is felt in the joyful celebrations, where her devotees, draped in yellow and gold, dance with a sense of devotion and gratitude. The way they dance, their every movement, every beat of the drum, reflects the deep connection they feel with Oxen, a deity who embodies both the power of the river and the warmth of the sun. Then there is Yemanja, the mother of the sea. In African traditions, she is a powerful and protective deity, associated with the ocean and the nurturing aspect of motherhood. In Brazil, her influence is palpable along the coastlines, where people celebrate her with great fervor. On the eve of New Year's, the beaches are transformed into sites of worship and celebration, as people throw flowers and gifts into the sea, calling upon Yemanja to bless them with prosperity and protection. The waves, crashing against the shore, seem to carry the whispers of prayers and the echoes of psalms dedicated to her, weaving a sense of divine presence into the very fabric of the coastal air. Ogun, the god of iron and warfare, also plays a significant role in Brazilian culture. Known for his strength and resilience, Ogun is celebrated with powerful rituals that honor his role as a protector and provider. His worshippers, often in vibrant ceremonies, offer sacrifices and perform dances that mimic the strength and precision of a warrior. These rituals are not just acts of devotion but are imbued with a deep sense of reverence for Ogun's role in safeguarding and guiding the community. The clash of drums and the fiery passion of the dancers reflect the fiery spirit of Ogun, whose strength continues to inspire and protect. The Orishas' influence extends beyond rituals and festivals. They have woven themselves into the daily lives of those who honor them. In homes and communities, their presence is felt through stories and traditions passed down through generations. People turn to these gods for guidance, protection, and blessings, invoking their names in moments of joy and sorrow. The Orishas are not distant deities but active, involved figures in the lives of their devotees, shaping their spiritual and cultural landscape. The integration of the Orishas into Brazilian culture is a testament to the resilience and adaptability of the African diaspora. Despite the harsh conditions of slavery and the challenges of a new land, the spiritual essence of the Orishas has endured and thrived. They have found a new expression in Brazilian culture, enriching it with their presence and continuing to inspire awe and devotion. In Brazil, the Orishas are more than symbols. They are vibrant, living entities whose influence is felt in every beat of the drum and every dance step. Their stories, full of power, love, and wisdom, continue to resonate deeply with those who honor them. Through rituals, festivals, and daily practices, the Orishas remain a vital and cherished part of Brazilian culture, bridging the gap between ancient traditions and contemporary life. The rhythm of Brazilian spirituality, with its vibrant celebrations and heartfelt devotion, echoes the rich legacy of the Orishas. Each dance, each song, each ritual is a tribute to these ancient gods, whose presence continues to shape and enrich the cultural and spiritual landscape of Brazil. The Orishas, with their enduring power and grace, remain a testament to the deep connection between the past and the present, and to the unbreakable spirit of those who honor them. In the heart of Brazil, the air hums with stories of love and tragedy that have been passed down through generations. These myths are not just tales, but echoes of the human heart, capturing the essence of passion, loss, and longing in ways that resonate with anyone who listens. One such story is the tragic legend of the Mãe de Água, or Mother of the Waters. It speaks of a beautiful and ethereal woman who fell in love with a mortal man. Their love was so profound that it defied the very boundaries between their worlds. Yet, their happiness was short-lived. The gods, angered by their union, cursed them. The woman was transformed into a spirit of the waters, bound to the rivers and lakes of Brazil, while the man was left behind to live out his days in sorrow. The rivers where she once walked became her prison, and the sound of flowing water became the mournful melody of her eternal lament. Those who hear her sorrowful cries in the night are said to be touched by the tragedy of a love that could not survive the wrath of the divine. In another poignant tale, the story of Jerima speaks of a love so strong it transcends death. Jerima was a young woman with a heart full of love for her suitor, but their romance was doomed by fate. She was tragically killed, and her lover, unable to bear the pain, sought to follow her into the afterlife. The gods, moved by their undying love, allowed Jerima to return briefly to the world of the living. However, their reunion was fleeting. As the sun rose, she had to leave again, disappearing into the mist. To this day, lovers whisper her name in hopes that their love will be as enduring, believing that Jerima's story is a testament to the power of true love, even when separated by death. Then there is the tale of the page, a powerful shaman who loved a woman from another tribe. Their love, though pure, was forbidden. The page's tribe, bound by ancient traditions, could not accept the union. As the story goes, the page defied his tribe, choosing love over duty. However, his decision led to conflict and disaster. The woman was taken from him, and the page, heartbroken, spent the rest of his life wandering the forests, calling out to his lost love. His voice, now carried by the winds, is said to bring a chill to the air, a reminder of the price he paid for love that could not be embraced by society. These legends are more than just stories, they are woven into the very fabric of Brazilian culture. They are told around fires, whispered in the winds, and sung in songs that evoke deep emotions. They remind us of the profound ways in which love can uplift us and the harsh realities that sometimes tear us apart. In each tale, the landscapes of Brazil become a backdrop for intense emotions. The vast, untamed jungles, the serene rivers, and the whispering winds carry the weight of these stories, making the natural world a participant in the myths. The water spirits, the wandering souls, and the haunted forests are all part of a larger narrative where love and tragedy intertwine, reflecting the universal human experience of joy and sorrow. Listening to these myths, one can't help but feel the tug of their timeless truths. They remind us that love is a force that can transcend boundaries, defy conventions, and survive even the most profound separations. Yet, they also remind us of the pain that often accompanies such deep connections, a reminder of the fragility of happiness in the face of the grand, unchangeable forces of destiny. In the heart of Brazilian mythology, the legends of love and tragedy are not just stories, but echoes of human emotions that resonate with anyone who hears them. They are reminders of the power of love, the pain of loss, and the beauty of stories that capture the essence of our deepest feelings. In the dense, whispering forests of Brazil, there's a chilling legend that sends shivers down the spine of those who hear it. This is the tale of the maned wolf, known in local lore as the lobisomem, a creature that merges human fears with wild, untamed nature. The stories of this beast are more than just spine-tingling. They are heart-wrenching glimpses into the darkness that lies hidden within every soul. The legend begins with an ordinary man, a simple farmer living in a small village on the edge of the vast Brazilian wilderness. His life was unremarkable until a fateful night when he found himself cursed by a mysterious old woman. The reasons for the curse were lost to time, but some say it was because of a broken promise or a forgotten kindness. The old woman, with her eyes full of ancient sorrows, warned that he would become a lobisomem, a creature of both worlds, neither fully human nor completely beast. As the curse took hold, the man's nights became haunted by a transformation that turned him into a horrifying wolf-like creature with a mane of fiery red fur. By day, he was a regular man, struggling to hide the scars of his nocturnal afflictions. But when darkness fell, he became a creature of primal instincts, his humanity slipping away as he roamed the forests with a chilling howl that echoed through the night. The transformation was more than a physical change. It represented a profound inner torment, a battle between the man's remaining humanity and the beast's relentless hunger. During these nights, the maned wolf would lash out in terror and fury, driven by an uncontrollable rage that left him and the village in constant fear. The villagers, though compassionate at heart, began to avoid him, whispering about the strange occurrences and mysterious attacks in the forest. They spoke of how the beast's howl seemed to pierce through their very souls, leaving them paralyzed with fear. In the quiet moments before dawn, when the curse receded, the man would wake up with no memory of his actions. He was left with an aching heart, haunted by the terrifying thoughts of what he might have done while transformed. The sorrow of his existence weighed heavily on him. His loved ones were lost to him, their trust shattered by the beast he had become. His wife, once full of love, now avoided his touch, and his children, once bright and full of life, now looked at him with eyes filled with a blend of fear and confusion. The heartache of his plight was not just in the solitude he faced, but also in the perpetual longing to break free from the curse. He sought out the old woman who had cursed him, hoping for redemption or forgiveness. Yet, she remained elusive, a specter of the past. The journey to find her was fraught with emotional turmoil, as each step into the forest mirrored the steps he took away from his former life. Each night, the maned wolf's presence became a haunting melody of sorrow that lingered in the air. His howls were not just cries of a beast, but the mournful calls of a man trapped between two worlds. The forests became his prison, a place where his nightmares and reality intertwined. The red mane of the wolf became a symbol of his suffering, a blazing mark of the torment that consumed him. His struggle was not just with the curse, but with the fragments of his lost humanity, forever chasing shadows in the moonlight. The legend of the maned wolf is not merely a tale of horror, but a poignant reminder of the fragility of human nature and the profound impacts of unseen curses. It captures the essence of a man's fight against the darkness within himself, a darkness that he could not escape, no matter how hard he tried. His story is a haunting echo of the deep fears and sorrows that reside in every heart, a reminder of how easily one's life can be overshadowed by the shadows of their own making. In the end, the tale of the lobisomem serves as a powerful metaphor for the struggles within us all. It speaks to the fear of losing control, the pain of alienation, and the longing for redemption. The forests where the maned wolf roamed became a backdrop to a tragedy that intertwines with the natural world, making his story a chilling yet heart-wrenching legend that continues to stir the emotions of all who hear it. In the vibrant tapestry of Brazilian mythology, animals are not just creatures of flesh and bone but powerful symbols and spiritual guides. Each animal carries a story, a piece of wisdom, and a deep connection to the natural world that shapes the myths of this land. These stories whisper through the dense forests and echo across the endless rivers, revealing a profound relationship between the people and the wildlife that surrounds them. Consider the jaguar, a majestic and feared predator that prowls through Brazilian myths like a shadow of strength and mystery. In the myths, the jaguar is more than a powerful beast, it embodies the spirit of the forest. Its stealthy movements and piercing eyes are said to hold the wisdom of the jungle. To encounter a jaguar is to glimpse the raw, untamed essence of the wilderness, and its presence in mythology represents the balance of power and reverence that the people have for nature. The jaguar's roar is a reminder of the wild, primal forces that lie just beneath the surface of everyday life. Then there's the serpent, a creature that slithers through the myths with an aura of ancient magic and danger. In many stories, serpents are guardians of sacred places and keepers of hidden knowledge. Their ability to shed their skin symbolizes renewal and transformation, reflecting the cycles of life and death. The serpent's presence in mythology often carries a message of profound change and the need to embrace the mysteries of the unknown. Its scales, glistening and enigmatic, represent both the allure and the peril of delving into the hidden depths of existence. Birds, too, play a significant role in these myths, often depicted as messengers between the earthly and the divine. The eagle, with its soaring flight and keen vision, is seen as a symbol of freedom and spiritual insight. Its ability to rise above the world mirrors the quest for higher understanding and enlightenment. The songs of smaller, colorful birds are said to carry the voices of ancestors and spirits, weaving their melodies into the fabric of daily life and rituals. Their presence is a reminder of the delicate balance between the seen and the unseen, the physical and the spiritual. Among these creatures, the turtle stands out as a symbol of endurance and wisdom. In Brazilian myths, the turtle often represents the earth itself, carrying the weight of the world on its back. Its slow, deliberate movements are a reflection of the steady and unhurried passage of time, emphasizing patience and persistence. The turtle's long lifespan and the patterns on its shell tell stories of creation and the origins of the world, connecting the myths to the very foundation of existence. The howler monkey, with its eerie, mournful calls, is another key player in the mythological landscape. Known for their haunting vocalizations, howler monkeys are seen as the voices of the forest, their cries echoing through the trees like a warning or a lament. Their presence in mythology often signifies the importance of listening to the natural world and understanding the messages it conveys. The howler monkey's role as a messenger highlights the belief that nature communicates in subtle and powerful ways, urging people to pay attention to the signs around them. In the mythology of Brazil, animals are not just characters in stories, but integral parts of the world's spiritual and physical fabric. They embody the qualities and lessons that the people have learned from living in close harmony with their environment. Each animal carries a symbolic weight, reflecting aspects of human nature and the mysteries of life. The jaguar's power, the serpent's transformation, the eagle's vision, the turtle's endurance, and the howler monkey's calls all weave together to create a rich and evocative tapestry of myth and meaning. Through these stories, animals become more than just creatures of the wild, they are profound symbols of the forces that shape existence. They remind people of their deep connection to the natural world, urging them to respect and honor the mysteries that lie beyond the surface. In every rustle of leaves, every echo through the forest, and every call that reverberates in the night, there is a story waiting to be told. A story of how deeply the natural world influences and enriches the myths and lives of those who cherish it. In the lush landscapes of southern Brazil, myths and legends swirl like the mists that blanket the rolling hills and dense forests. Here, the tales are as vivid and varied as the vibrant flora and fauna that define the region. Each story echoes through the trees and winds, whispering secrets of ancient times and eternal truths. One of the most captivating legends from the south tells of the Curupira, a guardian spirit of the forest with fiery red hair and feet that face backward. This mysterious figure is said to protect the wildlife and plants from those who would harm them. The Curupira's backward feet confuse anyone who tries to follow him, leading them astray and ensuring that the forest remains a haven for its inhabitants. The Curupira is a powerful symbol of nature's resilience and the importance of respecting the natural world. When the forest is quiet and still, it's easy to imagine the Curupira watching over it, his presence both comforting and cautionary. In the same southern reaches, the legend of the Boitada flickers with an eerie glow. This creature is a fiery serpent, known for its glowing eyes and scorching breath. The Boitada prowls the night, protecting the fields and crops from those who would seek to destroy them. The fiery serpent's burning eyes are a warning to all who would disrespect the land. Farmers tell tales of the Boitada's wrath and its fierce protection of the harvest, a reminder of the delicate balance between human needs and the natural world's abundance. The region also holds the myth of the lobisomem, the Brazilian werewolf. Unlike other werewolf legends that might depict a creature of pure horror, the lobisomem story is imbued with a tragic undertone. This figure is said to be a man cursed to transform into a beast during the full moon. The lobisomem's plight reflects the fears and struggles of those who feel trapped by their own demons. His story resonates with themes of isolation and transformation, capturing the deep emotional struggle between human nature and the monstrous form that it can take. Among the tales told in southern Brazil is the story of the Mãe de Água, a mysterious water spirit who resides in the rivers and lakes. The Mãe de Água is both enchanting and perilous, her beauty and allure often drawing people into the water where they can become lost or drown. She represents the powerful and unpredictable nature of water, embodying both its life-giving and dangerous aspects. Fishermen and travelers speak of the Mãe de Água with a mix of reverence and caution, aware of her ability to offer either blessings or misfortune. The Aira, a captivating water nymph, also graces the myths of southern Brazil. Known for her irresistible beauty and enchanting voice, the Aira lures unsuspecting men into the depths of rivers and lakes. Her story speaks to the allure of the unknown and the dangers that come with it. Aira's song is a melody of both seduction and danger, reminding those who hear it of the power of temptation and the consequences of being drawn into the depths of their desires. In the heart of the southern forests, the legend of the Tatu's Bola, armadillo, takes on a magical quality. This mythical armadillo is believed to possess the power to roll into a perfect ball, a shape that symbolizes protection and resilience. The Tatu's Bola's ability to defend itself from predators while remaining hidden speaks to the themes of self-preservation and inner strength. Stories of the Tatu's Bola often revolve around its cleverness and its role as a guardian of the forest's secrets. These myths from southern Brazil paint a rich tapestry of wonder and wisdom, each tale carrying its own lessons and emotional depth. The legends of the Curupira, Boitada, Lobisomem, Mãe de Água, Aira, and Tatu's Bola intertwine with the landscape, embodying the mysteries and the magic of the region. As the night falls and the forests quieten, the echoes of these stories linger in the air, a haunting reminder of the deep connection between the people and the land they call home. In the heart of the dense Brazilian forests, where shadows dance beneath the canopy and the whispers of leaves carry ancient secrets, lives a small, mysterious guardian known as the Capira. This enigmatic figure is a symbol of both awe and fear, embodying the delicate balance between humanity and the wild. The Capira is often described as a diminutive being with the stature of a child, but with a presence that commands respect. Clad in a garment made of forest leaves and adorned with a hat of palm, the Capira blends seamlessly into the forest, making him nearly invisible to those who do not know where to look. His face, though sometimes hidden in shadow, is said to be marked with an expression of stern watchfulness. The Capira's role is not just to protect the forest, but to enforce the sacred laws that keep nature in harmony. Legend speaks of the Capira as a fierce guardian, charged with ensuring that the forest remains undisturbed by those who seek to exploit its resources. Hunters and gatherers who enter the forest with disrespect or greed often find themselves at the mercy of this elusive spirit. The Capira's retribution is both cunning and effective. He may lead the intruders astray, causing them to become lost in the labyrinth of trees and underbrush. Some stories tell of the Capira using his small size and speed to evade capture, always staying just out of reach but never out of sight. One particularly chilling tale recounts the story of a group of hunters who, driven by greed, ventured deep into the forest during a time of scarcity. They sought to kill more game than they needed, disregarding the balance that the forest had maintained for generations. As they pushed further, the dense woods seemed to close in around them, and every path they took led them deeper into confusion. The hunters, once confident, began to realize that they were being led in circles. Their frustration grew, and fear began to take hold. It was said that the Caperer, with his deep connection to the forest, had taken them on a twisted path, ensuring that they would never find their way out until they learned to respect the forest's laws. The Caperer's presence is also linked to the creatures of the forest. Many believe that he has the ability to command animals, calling upon them to aid him in his duty to protect their home. Stories tell of wild animals acting in unusual ways when the Caperer is near. A deer might suddenly change direction, leading a lost traveler away from danger, or a bird might sing a melody that warns of impending peril. The bond between the Caperer and the forest's creatures is one of mutual respect and protection. Despite his fearsome reputation, the Caperer is not without a sense of justice. He is said to reward those who enter the forest with a pure heart and genuine intentions. Those who respect the land and seek only what is necessary may find themselves blessed by the Caperer's favor. It is said that these fortunate individuals might be guided to abundant sources of food or find their way out of the forest with ease. The Caperer's actions are not driven by malice, but by a deep-seated desire to maintain balance and harmony. In the quiet of the forest, when the wind rustles through the trees and the shadows shift, the Caperer's presence can be felt. His watchful eyes, hidden yet ever present, remind those who enter the forest of the sacred trust between humanity and nature. The tales of the Caperer carry a profound message about respect for the environment and the consequences of exploiting it without regard. The myth of the Caperer is more than just a story, it is a powerful symbol of the forest's spirit and the importance of living in harmony with nature. Through his vigilance and mysterious ways, the Caperer serves as a reminder of the delicate balance that exists in the natural world, a balance that must be respected and preserved. In the lush, vibrant land of Brazil, where ancient forests whisper old secrets and rivers flow with stories of old, a powerful transformation has taken place. Christianity, introduced by colonizers and missionaries, has woven itself into the fabric of Brazil's rich mythological tapestry, creating a blend of old and new that is both poignant and profound. When Christianity first arrived in Brazil, it encountered a landscape teeming with vibrant myths and spirits, each deeply embedded in the lives of the indigenous peoples. These were stories of gods, nature spirits, and magical beings that had shaped their world for centuries. As Christianity spread, it did not simply replace these traditions, but interacted with them in ways that transformed both the new and the old. Imagine a small village nestled in the heart of the Amazon, where the villagers once spoke of powerful nature spirits like the Curupira and the Aira. These spirits were seen as guardians of the forest and rivers, holding the power to bless or curse those who ventured into their domains. When missionaries arrived, they brought with them stories of a single, omnipotent God and saints who performed miracles. The villagers, faced with these new ideas, began to see their old spirits in a different light. The transformation was not always gentle. The mighty Curupira, who once roamed the forest with his fiery red hair and backwards feet, became a figure who was sometimes depicted as a mischievous trickster, akin to the devil in Christian lore. The Aira, a beautiful water spirit known for her enchanting songs, was sometimes recast as a siren-like temptress whose songs led men astray, echoing the biblical tales of temptation. Yet, not all was lost. In some places, the old myths were absorbed into the new Christian framework. The Orixás, African deities worshipped by those who were brought to Brazil as slaves, were often equated with Christian saints. This process, known as syncretism, allowed the enslaved people to maintain their religious practices under the guise of Christian worship. For example, Oxum, the goddess of rivers and fertility, was often associated with Our Lady of Conception, while Ixango, the god of thunder and justice, was linked to Saint Jerome. This blending of deities created a unique fusion of beliefs, where ancient spirits found a new place within the Christian framework. In the bustling cities and rural areas alike, festivals that once celebrated the old gods now feature Christian symbols. During Festa de Nossa Senhora de Conceição, many of the old rituals and dances that once honored the river spirits are now performed in honor of Our Lady of Conception. The rhythms of traditional music, which once called upon the spirits of the land, now resonate with Christian hymns, creating a powerful, emotional mix that speaks of both reverence and resilience. The legends that intertwine Christianity with Brazilian myths often tell stories of miracles and divine interventions that echo the old tales but are wrapped in new Christian imagery. One story tells of how a local saint protected a village from a terrible flood, a tale that mirrors the old legends of river spirits who would save or condemn depending on the villagers' respect for nature. In Brazilian folklore, the boto, a river dolphin believed to transform into a handsome man to seduce women, has also been touched by Christian influence. In some stories, the boto's actions are seen as a test of faith, with his supernatural charms being a metaphor for the trials and temptations faced by the faithful. This intertwining of Christianity and Brazilian mythology reveals a landscape where old beliefs have not been erased but have evolved. The new religion did not simply overwrite the old, instead, it reshaped it, blending the sacred and the spiritual into something uniquely Brazilian. This fusion represents the complex and often painful process of cultural exchange and adaptation, where ancient myths and new beliefs coalesce into a rich and varied tradition. Each story tells of a deeper journey, one that reflects the heart struggle between the old and the new, the familiar and the foreign. The resulting myths and legends, shaped by both indigenous and Christian influences, resonate with the struggles and triumphs of those who have lived through this transformation. In this emotional dance between old and new, the myths of Brazil continue to breathe life into the land, a testament to the enduring spirit of a people who have woven their ancient past into their present. In the shadowed corners of Brazilian folklore, where fear and fascination intertwine, the legend of the Quibongo stands out as one of the most chilling and haunting tales. This monstrous being is said to lurk in the darkest depths of the forests, a figure of pure terror that preys on the unsuspecting and unwary. The Quibongo is not just a monster, it is a symbol of primal fear, a reminder of the dangers that lie hidden in the unknown. The Quibongo is described as a nightmarish creature, its form shifting between human and beast. It is said to have a grotesque appearance with a mouth that seems unnaturally wide, filled with sharp, jagged teeth capable of tearing flesh apart with ease. Its eyes glow with a malevolent light, and its skin is often depicted as mottled and covered in scars, as if it has been through countless battles with its prey. This fearsome beast emerges from the darkest corners of the forest, a place where the sun's light barely touches the ground, and where shadows play tricks on the eyes. The legend goes that the Quibongo is a creature of insatiable hunger, driven by a never-ending craving for human flesh. It stalks its victims through the dense, tangled underbrush, moving with a stealth that belies its massive size. The fear it instills is palpable, as the mere sound of its growl or the whisper of its presence can send shivers down the spine of anyone who hears it. Villagers tell tales of how the Quibongo silently follows those who venture too far into the forest, waiting for the perfect moment to strike. One of the most terrifying aspects of the Quibongo is its ability to mimic human voices. It is said to lure people into the forest by calling out to them in familiar voices, pretending to be loved ones or friends. Those who are foolish enough to respond are often met with a horrifying end. The monster's cries are so convincing that it is almost impossible to tell whether they are genuine or a trap, creating a psychological torment that plays on the deepest fears of isolation and betrayal. The Quibongo's legend serves as a grim reminder of the dangers that can lie hidden in the natural world. It is a story that parents use to warn their children about the perils of wandering too far from home, a tale designed to instill a healthy respect for the wilderness and the unknown. The monster's insatiable hunger symbolizes the fears and anxieties that many people face, making the Quibongo a metaphor for the uncontrollable and often terrifying forces that exist beyond human understanding. In some versions of the tale, the Quibongo is portrayed as a cursed being, forever bound to its monstrous form due to a past transgression or a tragic mistake. This aspect of the legend adds a layer of complexity to the creature's character, suggesting that beneath its terrifying exterior lies a tragic figure doomed to wander the forests in search of something that can never be found. This twist on the myth adds a touch of sadness to the story, making the Quibongo a figure that inspires both fear and pity. The impact of the Quibongo myth extends beyond mere fright. It shapes the cultural fabric of the regions where it is told, influencing local traditions, art, and storytelling. The monster is often depicted in local art and folklore, serving as a reminder of the power of storytelling and the role of myths in shaping cultural identity. Through these tales, the Kwabongo becomes a part of the collective consciousness, a symbol of the fears and uncertainties that are common to all human experience. As night falls and the forest grows quiet, the legend of the Kwabongo comes alive in the whispered tales and chilling stories that circulate among those who live near the darkened woods. It is a creature that thrives on the fear it instills, a monster that exists not just in the shadows of the forest, but in the deepest corners of the human psyche. The fear of the Kwabongo is a testament to the power of myth to shape and influence our understanding of the world, turning the natural world into a place of wonder and terror. The legend of the Kwabongo endures because it speaks to something deeply primal within us. It is a story of fear and survival, a reminder of the dangers that lurk just beyond the edges of our understanding. In the dark recesses of the forest, where the light fades and shadows loom large, the Kwabongo remains a powerful symbol of the unknown, a reminder of the fears that we all share and the stories that help us confront them. Amid the dazzling chaos of the Brazilian carnival, where rhythms pulse through the streets and vibrant colors swirl in a feverish dance, lies a thread that connects this spectacular celebration to the rich tapestry of Brazilian mythology. As the world watches in awe, the carnival becomes more than just a festival, it transforms into a living canvas where ancient myths and modern revelry blend into a breathtaking spectacle. Picture the carnival, a sea of people dressed in elaborate costumes, their faces painted with designs that seem to leap from the pages of folklore. The air vibrates with the beats of samba, while the smell of street food mingles with the sweet scent of blossoms. Yet, behind this vibrant display is a deep-rooted connection to the myths that have been passed down through generations. One of the most poignant connections is seen in the costumes and floats that parade through the streets. Each design is often inspired by the myriad of mythical creatures and gods from Brazilian folklore. In these costumes, you might find the fierce and enchanting Aira, the water nymph whose beauty is as irresistible as her danger. Her presence in the parade reflects both the allure and the peril of the waters she guards. As dancers don her elaborate attire, their movements evoke the mysterious allure of rivers and lakes, bringing to life the legends of old. Then there's the haunting figure of the Sai Pereira, the one-legged trickster spirit. His presence in the carnival is a vivid reminder of the mischief and magic that he brings. With a red hat that signifies his power and a playful spirit, the Sai's portrayal in the carnival is more than just entertainment, it is a tribute to the folklore that shaped the culture of Brazil. As performers mimic his antics, they not only celebrate but also keep the spirit of the Sai alive, ensuring that his story is told anew each year. In the colorful processions, you may spot motifs inspired by the Boto, a mythical river dolphin that transforms into a handsome man to seduce unsuspecting women. The enchanting dolphin story, filled with romance and mystery, comes to life in the extravagant floats that glide down the streets. These floats, adorned with shimmering scales and graceful forms, embody the dual nature of the Boto, beautiful and dangerous. The vibrant depictions capture the essence of the myth, celebrating the magic and allure that have been part of Brazilian culture for centuries. Pedro Malasartes is a trickster hero, a master of deceit and clever schemes. His stories are filled with laughter and surprise, embodying the spirit of those who, despite having little, find ways to outsmart those who have more. One of the most famous tales involves Pedro and a rich but arrogant landowner. In this story, Pedro, known for his cunning, is invited to a grand feast by the landowner, who looks down on him as just a common man. But Pedro has a plan. He arrives at the feast with nothing but a bag of flour. During the meal, Pedro asks for some of the food to be set aside, claiming he has a special recipe. The host, curious and a bit disdainful, agrees. Pedro then pretends to cook with the flour, making it seem like he's preparing something extraordinary. When the time comes to reveal his creation, Pedro dramatically presents the flour, claiming it's a magical dish. The landowner, not wanting to admit he was duped, praises Pedro's dish, and from that day on, Pedro is seen as a man of great wisdom and talent, all thanks to his clever ruse. Another tale of Pedro Malasartes reveals his ingenuity in a different light. In this story, Pedro finds himself in dire need of money. With his wit as his only weapon, he tricks a wealthy merchant into believing that Pedro has a magical stone that can turn anything into gold. Pedro's stone is just a simple rock, but his storytelling is so convincing that the merchant pays him a fortune for it. Pedro walks away with the money, leaving the merchant with nothing but an ordinary stone. This tale is a powerful testament to Pedro's ability to turn the odds in his favor with nothing more than his sharp mind and quick thinking. Pedro's stories often highlight the stark contrast between him and the powerful figures he outsmarts. In another tale, Pedro encounters a pompous and self-important judge who prides himself on his intelligence and authority. Pedro, with his usual flair, manages to trick the judge into a series of humorous and embarrassing situations, exposing the judge's arrogance and ignorance. By the end of the tale, Pedro's cleverness not only entertains but also teaches a valuable lesson about humility and the true nature of wisdom. The essence of Pedro Malasarte's legend lies in his role as a trickster who uses his intelligence to overcome challenges. His tales are more than just entertaining stories, they are reflections of the human spirit's resilience. Pedro represents the idea that even those who seem powerless can find ways to assert themselves and achieve their goals through wit and creativity. His stories are filled with moments that make the heart race, laugh, and think, reminding us of the power of ingenuity and the strength found in cleverness. Pedro's clever antics often reveal deep truths about human nature and society. He challenges the norms and expectations placed upon him by those in power, showing that intelligence and resourcefulness can be as powerful as wealth and authority. His tales offer a sense of justice and balance, where the underdog triumphs not through force, but through brainpower and audacity. Each story serves as a reminder that even the smallest person, with the sharpest mind, can change their fate and the world around them. Pedro Malasarte remains a beloved figure in Brazilian folklore, his stories continuing to inspire and entertain. They echo with the laughter of triumph over adversity, the thrill of clever schemes, and the joy of watching the underestimated outwit the mighty. His tales are a celebration of intelligence, creativity, and the enduring human spirit. In every story, Pedro's cleverness shines through, making him not just a trickster but a hero who embodies the very essence of resilience and wit. In the vibrant tapestry of Brazilian mythology, women are not mere bystanders but powerful figures whose stories resonate with strength, wisdom, and enchantment. From the lush Amazon to the bustling cities, these female figures shape the mythic landscape with their profound roles and remarkable feats. One of the most captivating figures is Aira, the water nymph. With her long, flowing hair and enchanting voice, she lures unwary travelers into the depths of the river. Aira's tale is not just one of beauty and allure but of the deep, mysterious power of nature. Her story speaks to the primal connection between humanity and the natural world, portraying the river as both a source of life and a realm of untamed, potent force. Aira represents the duality of nature, its beauty and its danger, a reminder of the respect and awe it commands. Then there's Maria Mulata, often celebrated in the folklore of the northeastern regions. A woman of stunning beauty and formidable strength, Maria Mulata's story is one of resistance and resilience. She defies traditional roles, taking on the mantle of a warrior and a leader. Her tale is a beacon of empowerment, showcasing a woman who stands firm against injustice and fights for her people with unmatched courage. Maria Mulata embodies the spirit of defiance and the strength of character, inspiring all who hear her story. In the heart of the Amazon rainforest, the legend of the Yara, or the Mother of the Waters, is deeply revered. She is a figure of great wisdom and maternal care, believed to protect the forest and its creatures. Her presence is a symbol of the nurturing yet fierce spirit of nature. The Yara's role is to ensure harmony and balance within the forest, making her a guardian whose influence extends beyond mere protection to embodying the very essence of life and growth in the Amazon. In the folklore of the South, the myth of the Boitada, a fiery serpent whose gaze can turn anyone to stone, also features a powerful female presence. The Boitada, though often perceived through its serpent form, is deeply connected to the spirit of the land. The female aspect of this myth highlights the serpent's role as a guardian of the natural world, with her fierce protection serving as a reminder of nature's untamable force and its need for reverence and respect. These myths, while varied in their details and settings, share a common thread in their portrayal of women as powerful, complex beings who influence the world around them. They are not merely passive figures, but active participants who shape the course of events through their strength, intelligence, and will. Each legend underscores the role of women in maintaining balance, enforcing justice, and guiding others through their wisdom and courage. The stories of these remarkable women offer a window into how Brazilian myths reflect the values and beliefs surrounding femininity and power. They celebrate the qualities of resilience, wisdom, and fierce protection, showing that women in Brazilian mythology are far from secondary characters. They are central to the narrative, driving the action and embodying the core values of their cultures. In every tale, the strength of these female figures is palpable. They confront danger, uphold justice, and wield their influence with grace and authority. Their stories are more than just myths. They are powerful reflections of the roles women have played throughout history, and they continue to inspire awe and admiration in all who hear them. In the vibrant streets of Rio de Janeiro, during the colorful explosion of Carnival, the pulse of ancient myths beats with the rhythm of the drums. The Carnival also pays homage to the powerful Orixás, deities from Afro-Brazilian religions like Candomblé. These deities, with their rich pantheon and diverse attributes, find their place in the Carnival's celebration. Each Orixá, from the nurturing Iemanjá to the fierce Xango, is represented in the grand parades and colorful displays. The costumes and dances dedicated to these deities weave a powerful connection between the spiritual and the festive. They remind everyone of the deep cultural and religious roots that underpin the vibrant celebration. As the drummers pound out rhythms that echo through the night, the music itself often carries the echoes of ancient stories. The beats and melodies, rooted in African traditions, carry the spirit of the Orixás and other mythical figures. These rhythms not only energize the dancers but also serve as a living tribute to the myths that have shaped Brazilian culture. Each drumbeat resonates with the heartbeat of a nation that has woven its folklore into every aspect of life, including its most joyous celebrations. The Carnival's lively atmosphere and fantastical costumes are a canvas where myths are not just remembered but are brought to life. The celebrations transform ancient stories into dynamic performances, allowing people to experience the legends in new and exciting ways. This transformation is a testament to the enduring power of Brazilian mythology, demonstrating how these ancient tales continue to inspire and captivate. In the throes of Carnival, when the city becomes a swirling blend of music, dance, and mythology, it's clear that these ancient stories are not confined to the past. They are vibrant, living elements of Brazilian culture that continue to shape and define the present. Each year, as the Carnival unfolds, it carries with it the echoes of the past, celebrating myths that have been passed down through generations and ensuring that they live on in the hearts of those who join in the revelry. The Brazilian Carnival is more than a festival, it is a celebration of the myths that have shaped the nation's soul. Through its colorful costumes, enchanting dances, and powerful rhythms, it honors the rich tapestry of Brazilian folklore, bringing ancient legends to life in a dazzling display of culture and tradition. As twilight descends on the lush expanse of the Amazon, the river transforms into a shimmering ribbon of mystery and magic. The dense canopy above filters the fading light, casting eerie shadows on the water's surface. This vast and enigmatic river, a lifeline for countless creatures and people, is also the cradle of legends that stirred the imagination and touched the soul. The Amazon River, with its serpentine twists and turns, has long been a place where the lines between reality and myth blur. One of the most haunting tales is that of the Yacuruna, the guardian of the river's depths. Known for their ability to shapeshift and their mesmerizing beauty, the Yacuruna are said to lure unsuspecting travelers into the water, never to be seen again. These stories echo through the forest with a chill, as the river's deep, murky waters hide secrets that are as old as the jungle itself. The very thought of the Yacuruna, lurking beneath the surface, sends shivers down the spine, making the Amazon feel like a realm of perpetual twilight where danger and wonder coexist. Among the many myths, the story of the Boto stands out with its blend of romance and peril. The Boto is a river dolphin with a dark secret. At night, it transforms into a handsome man who charms women with his enchanting presence. The legend speaks of a mysterious lover who appears during moonlit nights, his presence both alluring and dangerous. He dances and courts women only to vanish as dawn breaks. This tale, woven into the fabric of local culture, speaks of forbidden love and the mystique of the river, capturing the imagination with its blend of romance and the unknown. Then there is the legend of the Mapinguari, a creature of immense size and terrible power that roams the forest. Described as a giant, sloth-like beast with a gaping mouth on its belly, the Mapinguari is a fearsome guardian of the jungle. According to legend, it emits a horrendous smell to keep intruders at bay, and its roar can be heard echoing through the trees. The Mapinguari represents the untamed and mysterious forces of the Amazon, a living symbol of the primal nature of the forest and the respected demands. The river itself is also the stage for the story of the Vittoria Regia, the legendary water lily. This myth tells of a beautiful young woman who was turned into a lily by the moon god, enamored by her grace and beauty. The flower's large, round leaves that float on the surface of the water are said to be the result of her eternal rest, while its majestic blooms honor her spirit. This legend speaks of love and transformation, and it's reflected in the delicate beauty of the lilies that adorn the Amazon River, providing a visual testament to a story of romance and divine enchantment. Amid these haunting and enchanting stories, the river also holds the legend of the Curupira, a mischievous spirit known for its backward feet that leave confusing tracks in the forest. The Curupira is said to protect the forest and its creatures by leading hunters astray and causing mischief. This trickster figure embodies the spirit of the jungle, wild, unpredictable, and fiercely protective of its domain. The stories of the Curupira echo through the trees and are a reminder of the delicate balance between humanity and nature. In the depths of the Amazon, where the river bends and twists like a serpent, there is a myth of the mysterious and powerful Anhanga, a forest spirit with the ability to control the animals and the elements. This spirit is said to be both a guardian and a wraith, haunting the riverbanks and guiding those who respect the forest while punishing those who trespass. The Anhanga's presence is felt as a palpable force, a reminder of the power that lies within the untamed wilderness and the reverence it commands. The stories of the Amazon River are not just tales of the supernatural, they are reflections of the deep connection between the people and the land they inhabit. These legends, passed down through generations, weave together the natural and the mystical, the real and the imagined. They speak of a world where the river is more than just water. It is a living entity, rich with stories and spirits that shape the lives of those who dwell along its banks. As the sun sets and the river's surface becomes a mirror of the encroaching darkness, the myths of the Amazon continue to stir the soul. Each tale, whether of the enchanting Boto or the fearsome Mapinguari, is a testament to the river's power and its profound impact on the people who live in its embrace. The Amazon, with its vast and mysterious waters, remains a realm where myths come to life, where the line between the known and the unknown is beautifully and hauntingly blurred. In the heart of Brazilian folklore, there is a figure whose tales of cunning and cleverness have been told and retold, captivating hearts and minds across generations. Pedro Malasartes is not just a name, it's a symbol of cleverness and resilience, a beacon of how wit can triumph over adversity. The dazzling costumes and exuberant dances not only celebrate the present but echo the whispers of Brazilian legends that have shaped the culture for centuries. Every twirl of a dancer's costume, every beat of the drum, carries with it the magic and mystery of the ancient stories that still breathe life into modern Brazil. Walking through the Amazon, the legends of the forest are not merely tales of old, they are alive in the whispers of the trees and the songs of the rivers. The lore of beings like Aera, the captivating water nymph, still resonates in the way people speak of the river's power and mystery. These myths shape not just how people view the forest, but how they live within it. The forest is a living, breathing entity, and the stories passed down through generations remind everyone of the respect and reverence it commands. In Brazilian literature, the echoes of these ancient stories are vividly present. Authors weave the mythic elements of Brazilian folklore into their novels, creating a tapestry that blends the past with the present. Characters inspired by the legends of old come to life on the pages, embodying the same strength, beauty, and mysticism that have captivated audiences for centuries. The stories of these mythic figures are reimagined in modern settings, proving that the ancient myths still hold a place in contemporary narratives. The influence of Brazilian mythology extends to the world of film and television. Modern movies and shows, whether animated or live action, often draw on the rich tapestry of Brazilian folklore to create characters and stories that resonate with audiences. The mesmerizing allure of the legends, from the fierce protector spirits to the cunning tricksters, translates into powerful visual stories that captivate viewers, making the ancient myths accessible and relevant to today's audience. In music, the beats of traditional rhythms blend seamlessly with modern sounds, creating a fusion that pays homage to the mythological past while pushing into new creative territories. Songs and rhythms inspired by ancient stories capture the emotional depth and cultural significance of the myths, turning them into modern anthems that echo with the voices of ancestors. Even in art, the influence of Brazilian mythology is unmistakable. Contemporary artists draw inspiration from the mythic figures, creating stunning visuals that celebrate the richness of folklore. These artworks often blend traditional motifs with modern styles, creating pieces that are both a nod to the past and a testament to the enduring power of the myths. In festivals and local celebrations, the spirit of Brazilian mythology is palpably felt. Events that celebrate traditional stories and characters bring communities together, creating a space where the old legends are honored and remembered. The joy of these celebrations is a testament to how deeply the myths are embedded in the cultural fabric, inspiring pride and unity. Every corner of Brazil, from the bustling cities to the serene countryside, is touched by the magic of its mythology. The ancient stories that once served as moral lessons, entertainment, and cultural markers continue to inspire and guide modern life. They remind people of their roots, their heritage, and the timeless nature of their cultural identity. Brazilian mythology is not a relic of the past, it is a living, breathing force that continues to shape and inspire. The ancient tales of gods and spirits, heroes and tricksters, are woven into the everyday lives of people, enriching their experiences and connecting them to a rich and vibrant cultural history. In every celebration, every story told, every piece of art created, the legacy of Brazilian mythology endures, a powerful reminder of the past that continues to influence the present.